Hello everybody. Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. It mic peaked. My bad. Hello everybody. Welcome back to 428 Shibuya Scramble with our very relaxing intro or menu music. Last time we played, we only finished the 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock time block, which I'm planning, since I heard that it's like 9 chapters or something when I googled it, we are going to try to do at least like 1 time block per stream. So today we're going to be doing the 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock time block. So for a quick recap, are y'all ready for more dictums? Let's go! Last time we left off, we finished that first time block, and what basically happened is the premise of the story is like an intro. There are 2 twin sisters, I believe they were twin sisters, and one of them got kidnapped, and then the other one was asked to bring the ransom money. So, we have 2 main characters at that time, which is Achi and Kano. So, Kano is a detective who was watching over one of the twin who had the ransom money. He was waiting there, and Achi is like a local who is like really nice. He picks up trash on the streets and he helps people who are in trouble. So what happened is Kano basically chased after the perpetrators who took the ransom money and started running, but he lost track of the ransom money because they had a cool getaway plan with the motorcycle dude. Got some pleasant RPG town music, true. And then Achi ran away with the other twin sister just so like to protect her because they were being chased by a man with a cane and a gun. And when we left off, they were face to face with each other. And that is where we are right now in the story. Now if we load game, we have 6 bad endings. I think that's actually not all of the bad endings for 10 o'clock. Oh, we're still here at this is the end of the tutorial. Okay. Because I saw in a guide, I checked the guide for a 10 o'clock, and apparently I'm supposed to get like an achievement if I got all of the bad endings, but I'm thinking that to save on reading, I'll just do the bad endings that we miss off stream or something at another time, since we can't skip scenes that we've already seen before. I mean, like, we have to watch it, read it all throughout again, so I'll just leave it be. What we'll do is we're gonna focus on the time block that we're in each stream, and if we get a bad ending, we got a bad ending. If we don't get them all, it's okay. So now we have a few more main characters. So other than Kano and Achi, we have Tama. Wiggle wiggle. He was in like a cat or dog mascot suit. We got Osawa, who has the same last name as which is the same name as the last name of the twin sisters, and Minorikawa, this dude in a coat. Unfortunately, yeah, cat is the strongest. Yeah, I want to start with the cat. I want to see what he's up to. He's wiggling, it's cute. There he is, there he is. Is he handing out flyers, maybe? It's so hot. Oh, I'd feel that. A mascot suit is super hot, right? It's so hard to do that, especially under the sun. Okay, it's so hot in this thing. Understandable, bro. Way too hot. I feel like I'm sitting in a sauna. Everyone else on the street looks so nice and cool, but here I am getting treated to my very own personal midsummer heat wave. On top of that, I can barely see. I can barely breathe, for that matter. But hey, what can I do? Oh, he's really going through it. Oh, I'm so thirsty. Some iced tea would be amazing right now. I'm gonna pass out from dehydration at this rate. I may as well admit it. I underestimated how tough this would be. Who knew wearing a mascot costume could be so uncomfortable? A delicate young lady like myself has no business doing this sort of job. I suddenly have so much respect for the people on those superhero team shows. Like, can you imagine doing action scenes in something like wow! Iced tea based? Yeah, so true, so true. Heck, all I'm doing is standing here and I'm this close to calling it quits. But I can't. I need the work. I need the money. This is no time to be a wuss. If I give up on this, what else am I possibly going to do? Check out the revolutionary new diet drink, Burning Hammer. I thrust a free sample towards a passerby while shouting as loud as I could. Okay, she's handing out free sample. Oops. Yeah, a small portion given around like a trial size. Okay. Wait, what was that about theft at the bottom? Simply taking a product without paying for it in order to test it out is theft. Don't do it. Come on and give it a try. Oof, that's difficult. Oh, it's no use. People just walk by one after the other. They avoid looking at the sample. It's been like this ever since I started standing here. What gives? You'd figure at least one person would have taken a bottle by now. I mean, it's free. I haven't managed to give away a single one. If this keeps up, there's no way I'm getting paid. And then the whole miserable experience will have all been for nothing. Just drink this and watch the pounds melt away. No exercising or dieting necessary. I can hear the desperation in my own voice. Just burn those pounds away. They're giving me cold looks now. They probably think I'm some shyster trying to offload some dodgy product. It's that simple. That simple, folks. You just drink the weight away. I guarantee it. Heck, this whole thing reeks of a scam to me too. Burning Hammer doesn't sound that great. Big oof. Yeah. If you're doing this in summer and you're complaining about the heat also, when you're selling something called Burning Hammer, I don't think... Maybe if you did it in winter. Yes, a scam seems extremely dubious or suspicious. Yes. Losing weight just by drinking some concoction is way too good to be true. But still, free is free. You'd think I'd be able to give out one or two away. It's not like I'm not trying. Okay, pep talk time. You can do this. Think about the money. Just start with one bottle. Alright, I am going to give this bottle away to the next person I see, no matter what. I close my eyes and gather my determination. I just need to get started and the momentum will build from there. Oh my god, you locked onto the detectives? Alright, eyes open. There are two people walking in my direction. Wait, two? Oh no, which one do I pick? If I keep waffling, they're both gonna pass me by. I just need to hand this bottle off. Which one of these guys looks more likely to take it? Clutching the free sample in my furry fist. I'm not gonna lie, if you're asking me who looks more likely to take it, I would try to give it to, you know, my man's here on the side, because I don't know, the businessman, look at his face. He looks like he's gonna snob me, right? My man's looks more friendly to us, even though I know he's a detective, so I'm sure he'd take it, right? Right? He seems like he's cool that way when we met him last time. Clutching the free sample in my furry fist, I tried to force it off on the disheveled fellow to my right. He takes it! I was right! Furry fist. To my surprise, he takes it. Huh? What's this? He asks, lifting an eyebrow as he looks at the bottle. I flap my fuzzy arms and strike a cute pose as I launch into the product pitch. It's Burning Hammer, the #1 new diet drink. Please give it a try. No thanks. No! Keep it, just take it, it's free! No thanks, the man says. I'm good. I keep my arms held open wide and pretend I didn't hear that. Look, he says, I'm in a hurry. You should give this to someone else. He tries to hand the sample back to me, but I hold my ground. For a few moments, we are at a silent impasse. I thought it stopped. I thought it hung. Okay. Maybe he's weirded out by my cat alter ego holding this freeze frame pose, because eventually he looks away, slips the bottle into his pocket, and walks off. I did it. I finally got someone to take one. But there's still so many samples left. My brief surge of excitement dies before it can even fully take hold. I wonder how the other mascot is doing about now. There's a sales demo happening today at 1 o'clock at the Nokane building. Huh, looks like the chicken has handed out all kinds of samples. I don't get it. How come nobody's taking any of mine? What could I possibly be doing wrong? I look at the clock. It's a little after 11. My morning of wandering around hawking diet drinks is just about over. I need to get ready to head over to the sales demo. I'd love to take the costume off, but then I'd have to carry it. The samples I haven't given out are almost too heavy as is. Oh well, I might not have gotten results, but I tried my best. I hope they don't withhold my pay or anything. Hey, what gives? You got that many left? The chicken speaks with a female voice. Yeah, I reply sheepishly. Nobody seems to want to take mine. Well, I mean, are you looking for the right targets? Huh? Like groups of girls or bored-looking older ladies. Those are the types you gotta be gunning for, you know? Wow, I hadn't even considered that. Now that she says it, it all seems so obvious. This is a diet drink after all. Of course I'm not gonna have any luck trying to foist it off on random guys. Well, whatever, the chicken says. Here, give me the samples you got left. Aw, chicken's a bro. I hand over my samples and the chicken dumps the whole lot into her basket. I'll drink whatever's left so they don't find out that you didn't pass them out, she says. Why didn't we think of this, right? Like, we'll drink some of it. Huh? Wait, like, all of them? Yeah, all of them. The chicken sounds pretty confident in herself. These might just be sample-sized bottles, but still they add up to a lot. I can feel myself on the brink of tears at the kindness of her offer. Thanks so much. That's a huge help. I bow deeply, which makes my mascot head wobble. Respect the hustle, true. Thank you, Chimkin. Yes. Aw, we're walking together. That's kind of cute. Leaving the station behind, we walk down Center Gai towards the Nokane building. Okay, it's a multi-tenant office building in Udagawa-cho, located in Center Gai, Shibuya's downtown. Okay. In addition to hosting the weight loss drink sales demo, it's also home to foreign capital protection firm Japan's Cellcom IT mainstay Shibuya On-Net Son, video game developer Shindai Tradco, and Strike Back Labs, publisher of the monthly magazine Science Strikes Back, along with many others' business. Okay. The Burning Hammer sales demo is going to be held there this afternoon. The job's supposed to pay 10,000 yen for the day, but if we can sell at least 100 bottles at the demo, they promised another 10,000 on top of that. I need to make sure I sell those 100 bottles. I need that 20,000 yen, and I need it ASAP. Okay. What is this? What the heck is... This is the kind of drink we were trying to hoist off to random dudes on the street. Of course they won't take it. What if they take this and then everyone judges them? We arrive at the Nokane building at a rundown multi-tenant office complex. We head into the room where Burning Hammer sales demo is going to take place. There's already about 50 seats set out. I wonder how many people the free samples will pull in. A stage has been set up at the far end of the room. That's where I'm going to be standing, sipping Burning Hammer while explaining its effects to the customers. Hurry up and take that thing off. The chicken flaps her wings as she speaks. It's kinda early, but come on, let's have lunch. I'm starving. Now that she mentions it, I'm pretty hungry myself. The demo's not starting for another 2 hours. I can't win a war against my stomach for that long. The art's great, I would take it. Honestly, true. The chicken and I head out to the waiting room where they've set out our lunches for us. Tama face reveal? Mind getting my back real quick? The chicken asks. She arches her back towards me. This photo? Apparently, she can't reach her own zipper. Oh sure, just give me a sec. I try to unzip the back of the chicken suit, but my own suit's thick fuzzy fingers have a hard time of it. What's the holdup? Come on, I'm roasting in this thing. Hurry up and get it off me. I almost got it. It's just awkward with these mitts. Sus? Finally, I got a hold of the zipper and yank it downwards. Okay. There we go. A girl emerges from the chicken as if the chicken itself were an egg. Whew. I'm alive! Her red sweatshirt is drenched in sweat. Almost at once, she's kicking back and cooling off with a hand fan. Understandable. Sorry, but would you mind getting me one? Mind getting me two? I asked. Yeah, okay. I turn my back to the girl. The cat's face so close. I hear metal clacking behind me. At long last, I'm about to be free of this 5-ton fursuit. Huh? The girl murmurs awkwardly. Huh? What? A spike of anxiety hits me. What's wrong, I ask. Yeah, that's a no-go. Zipper's busted. What? Yeah, sorry, this thing ain't coming off. What? My vision goes dark. Oh my god. No. No, no! I tug desperately at the costume, but no luck. I'm trapped inside. Oh, what the crap? Oh, well, we can talk to the boss about it when he gets back, the girl says. I mean, it's not like we can just cut it off you with scissors or anything. She sounds entirely unconcerned. It's so unfair. I need to get out of this stuffy, sweltering steam bath as soon as possible. All I can do is clench my fist in impotent rage. But anyway, good work out there today, the girl continues. I'm Chiriko Usugi, by the way. You can just call me Chiri. Okay, Chiri. She smiles as she introduces herself. Aw, she looks so friendly. I mean, I'm a pretty cheery gal after all. Aw. She breaks into a hearty guffaw. Oh, sure, I say. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, for sure. So I guess you're not gonna be able to eat lunch in that getup, huh? Huh? That's right. What should I do? Don't sweat it. Just leave it to me. Huh? I'll eat both lunches myself. No! Chiri doesn't even wait for me to reply before reaching for my lunch. The face! Tama's face! This is fine. Would be a shame to let it go to waste, she says. She makes it sound like leftover food is a bigger concern than my hunger. I feel my appetite steering all the more as she devours my meal with a satisfied grin on her face. Blood! Yeah! A faint, pathetic gurgle rises from my belly. Oh no, acid. Oh no, Tama! It's just a cheap little pre-packaged box lunch, but right now it looks like a feast. So what's your name, Chiri asks. Her cheeks are still packed with rice. My name? Yeah. Oh, it's, As I struggle to think of an answer, my eyes alight on the piece of tamagoyaki clutched between Chiri's chopsticks. The yellow slab of lightly grilled egg wobbles to and fro. I can see the inside from the way it's been sliced. It looks somewhat undercooked. Come on, what's your name? Oh, right, Tama. It's Tama. Huh, you mean like the famous cat? Well, ain't that fitting? Chiri chortles and stuffs the piece of tamagoyaki into her mouth and takes a big swig of iced tea. No, Tama! Tama! I'm beyond jealous. I wish I could gorge myself on those lunch boxes until I'm full to bursting. Heck, even a cold glass of iced tea would be a lifesaver right now. I'm so thirsty I'm starting to get all dizzy. Maybe I really am getting dehydrated. This isn't good. If I don't do something, I'm gonna pass out before the sales demo even starts. Then I remember something. The zipper down my back might be busted, but I can still take the head off, right? That way, at least I'd be able to eat and drink stuff. Alright. I decide to, grab the head in both hands, yank it upward, rock my head back and forth, ask Chiri to assist me. Here. I decide to ask Chiri. Sorry, would you mind helping me pull my... Ow! I feel a dull throbbing pain at the back of my head, like I bumped my head somewhere, but I don't remember doing that recently. Chiri flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? She asks. I thought maybe I could at least get the head off. That ain't gonna work. That thing's attached to the body. I slump forward in defeat, face planting on the tabletop. It's so cute, but it's so sad. No. Most folks would have noticed that when they put it on, you know. Well, I didn't. The boss helped me get into this thing. Well, don't let it get you down, Chiri says. Here, drink some of this. A straw! Okay. She pulls a bottle with a straw from her bag and pours some tea into it. Yes! In the fever of thirst, I jammed the plastic straw through the mascot costume's mouth. Thankfully, it reaches as far as my own. I suck for all I'm worth. I suck and I suck and I suck. My body rejoices as moisture returns to it like rain coming to the desert. And thus, I revive. Actually, it kind of does feel like I'm coming back to life. Oh, thank you so much. I am never going to forget this as long as I live. With tears welling up in my eyes, I clutch Chiri's hand in my fuzzy mitts. Oh, hey, I'm not that kind of person to abandon someone in need, you know, she replies. An embarrassed grin crosses her face. How come you're carrying this bottle around with you anyway, I ask. Oh, that's because I make my own protein juice. Powdered health food supplement contains vitamins and minerals, as well as a protein component. Ah, like protein drink. Okay. Protein juice? Never heard of it. I heard that if you have protein juice for one of your 3 meals a day, you'll lose weight. So yeah, I kinda need to keep it. Given Chiri's sort of, well, chubby frame, I don't think the protein's been working so great for her. I've been trying to sell all sorts of stuff, but right now, protein is totally the best thing for my diet. This stuff, though... Chiri casts her eyes at the samples of burning hammer on the table. It's like, totally bogus. Huh? Bogus? That's a surprise. Well, yeah, Chiri says. You gotta exercise if you want to burn body fat. Low-intensity aerobic exercise. This is the best way. Okay. She smacks herself on one flabby arm. I mean, there's no way you're gonna lose weight by taking in more calories. Huh. Didn't she just say she was drinking protein juice to lose weight? I keep that thought to myself. Well, I mean, that'd be as ridiculous as all-you-can-eat Kobe beef, she adds. She shakes her head seriously. I'm not sure about using all-you-can-eat as anything as an example in a discussion about weight loss. But again, I keep the thought to myself. But hey, a job's a job, Chiri says after a moment, perking up again. They tell me to sell this junk, I'll sell it. Sudden wailing comes from the other side of the door. Please, just give me time. I swear I'll get it back to you. What the heck? Chiri says. Is that the boss? I nod. That's definitely Mr. Yanagashita's voice. He's the guy who hired me. Okay. Sliding. I think that's sliding. Okay. Sliding up alongside Chiri, I very quietly open the door and take a peek inside. Okay. Oh my god, is that the Yakuza? Mr. Yanagashita is down on his hands and knees, begging, while 2 uncouth-looking men glower at him. Just a little more time. That's all I ask, he pleads. Once I sell this stuff, I can pay you back. I see a tiny bottle of burning hammer in his hand. Just a little more, mimics the middle-aged fellow. I just gotta sell this. We've heard enough out of you. Yeah, the younger guy sneers. We ain't giving you any more time, so quit asking. But I really just need a little longer this time. Please, you gotta believe me. Oh my god, how is this stealth? Look at how big the cat head is. How did I not see it? From the look of things, Mr. Yanagashita is dealing with some loan sharks. Oh wow, though it seems obvious that this term refers to toothy predators of the sea, the word shark in this case actually has origins in older Germanic word meaning parasite or someone who preys on others. The same word that gave rise to the terms pool shark and card shark. In the case of loan sharks though, the initial mental image seems quite appropriate. And the two thugs are clearly in no mood for his continued groveling. Chiri and I exchange a glance. It's probably best if we don't go out there right now. But now I'm really worried. Am I actually gonna get paid for this gig? He's getting dragged away. As I'm pondering that, one of the men grabs Yanagashita by the nape of the neck and drags him to his feet. Come with us, pal. We'll take you someplace you can, work off your debts. Say what? Mr. Yanagashita wails. The 2 men drag him away. Did he have an afro? I just noticed that now. Huh. Guess he's gone then, Chiri says. He's already started packing up her things. Wait, what are you doing? I ask. Going home. Not much point sticking around. Going home? I mean, the demo sure ain't happening now. Anyhow, it was nice working with you. See ya. Moments later, Chiri is out the door. Aw, now what do I do? I've been left here all by myself. More or less, at a total loss. Aw. Bad end! Shifts over. Let me see. Our poor feline friend isn't going to get paid now that the debt collector showed up and dragged their boss away. If a certain someone hadn't told the thugs how to get to Nokane building, they probably wouldn't have caught Yanagashita. Yanagishita, okay. The right decision happens at 11:15, but who has to make it? Ah, it might not be us, right? Nobody asked us how to get to the building, if I remember right. It's someone else then. Okay. Right? Let me... No, that's not what I meant. Where's the... Oh, wait. I forgot the time chart is F2, right? But I forgot to rebind my F2. Let me rebind my F2 real quick. One moment. I rebind F2 before I press it. Where's F2? Here it is. Record. There we go. Now I can press F2. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Not the character select. Okay, so yeah, we don't have a decision at 11:15 to tell people how to get here, so I'm gonna have to pick someone else. This I feel like I need to get something going before I can get out of this. We're caught between a rock and a hard place here with Achi. This Minorikawa dude looks like he's some dude on a scooter. Let's see what he can do. Frantic. Maybe he's gonna see the guys who were running away with the money. Super Cub 90 raced down Route 246 towards Shibuya. Okay, a motorcycle produced by Honda with an 85cc engine displacement. A common sight around town, often used by newspaper and postal delivery workers. Okay. The speedometer remained at a steady 60 kph. Pumping the gas harder was no use. This was as fast as the bike would go. Minorikawa. Whoa, that felt like a tongue twister, shouted as he sped along. Damn it, I'm not letting you die! He jerked the handlebars and blew past the truck on the inside. The driver scowled at him as he shot by. Whoa, what is this? You maniac! You trying to get yourself killed? Just the opposite, Minorikawa shouted back. I'm saving lives! The stoplight ahead turned red, cutting him off at the intersection. Oh, come on! He had no choice but to slam on the brakes, but his agitation boiled over as he waited for the signal to change again. I'm alerting for Nauchi. Okay, have a nice lurk. How long is this thing gonna stay red? Hurry up already! He brought the bike right up to the very edge of the line, keeping the engine revved like a dragster ready to peel out. Enjoy swing, thank you. Not on times, not in my dictionary. The light turned red. Then Minorikawa's own light turned green at last, and he hit the accelerator as hard as he could. His engine died with a sputter. Huh? Oh, come on, what the hell? Car horns blared angrily behind him. In a fury, he pulled his bike over to the side of the road. So his bike was gonna die? At least it's while he was like parked, technically, while he stopped, not moving. No matter what he did, the engine refused to turn over. Was the problem with the spark plug, or maybe the battery? Whatever it was, he didn't have the time to figure it out now. With tears in his eyes, he left the bike, his companion of 10 years, abandoned on the roadside. Well, he's not gonna get it fixed. He's just gonna leave it. He was about to break into a run when he saw a taxi dead ahead, letting out a passenger. He hurried to hop into the cab. Just head for Shibuya Station. I'll let you know exactly where once we get closer. The taxi driver nodded coolly. Of course, sir. 10 minutes! Huh? I need you to get me there in 10 minutes. The driver grimaced. I'm afraid getting there in 10 minutes is a bit... 15 then! Sir, that's still... Look, this is all the time I can afford. Assuming traffic conditions cooperate, sir, then maybe. I can't make any promises. Minorikawa looked at the driver's ID photo above the fare meter. His name was Hachiro Kimizuka. He was a middle-aged fellow. He looked a little rough around the edges. Mr. Kimizuka, I chose you for this. You can do it. Chose me? Sir, I'm pretty certain we met by chance. Okay, sure. Suppose you could phrase it that way. Anyhow, can we get going? Right, Kimizuka said with a faint sigh. I'll see what I can do. The taxi pulled away at a decent clip. Okay, is he like rushing to get to work on time? Minorikawa's frantic journey had started 20 minutes earlier. He'd been at home, working on an interview piece. He clucked his tongue in annoyance when the ringing of his phone broke his train of thought. Why did someone always call right when the words were flowing? If he didn't keep getting interrupted, he could have probably wrapped up this piece in no time. Be quiet! He pointed at the telephone and yelled. I'm writing here! but his shouting did nothing to silence the ringing. He needn't have much choice but to pick up. Minorikawa speaking. There was no response. Hello? He hesitated, ready to hang up. Was this a prank call? It's me. It's Toyama. It was Teruo Toyama, president of Heaven Publishing. Okay, it's a publishing company that puts out both hard-hitting non-fiction books and tabloid-style scandal rags. The invincible journalist penned by the company president is a candidate for Japan Non-Fiction Prize. Okay. Oh, what do you want? If this is about work, I'm already booked pretty full. He had taken work from Heaven Publishing on several occasions, but the pay was hardly competitive. Lately, he'd been turning them down a lot, so he hadn't heard from Toyama in a while. No, this isn't work-related. Then what do you want? I'm kind of pressed for time here, working on some copy. Minorikawa was in no mood to beat around the bush. It seemed like every conversation he had with Toyama went like this. Ah, you're busy. That's good. Busy's good when you're a freelancer. Toyama sounded unusually sympathetic. Minorikawa found it off-putting. I hear sales have been good on your end, he said cautiously, with this month's 4-star general gossip and all. Okay, it is a magazine focusing on the private lives of celebrities and politicians. Most of the articles are random nonsense, but out of every 100 or so contains an actual major scoop, making it a difficult outlet to ignore. Okay. It's a monthly magazine, Heaven Publishing's flagship publication. Okay. It had a small circulation and for the most part flew under the radar, but once in a while they'd land some big scoop and sell like crazy. This month's edition had come with a free scratch card and a gimmick that moved 100,000 copies with ease. 5 winning symbols in a row wins 100,000 yen, was it? Minorikawa asked. A weak, moist sound came through the receiver. Baffled, Minorikawa listened more closely. It came again, then again. It kind of sounded like sobbing. Mr. Toyama? Are you crying? There was another soft sob, and then another. What's going on? Where are you? Minorikawa asked. At the office, Toyama managed. He let out another mewling whimper. What's the matter? It's nothing. Well, it's got to be something. Come on, what is it? Toyama gave no reply. Mr. Toyama, are you still there? Silence. What is it? What happened? Look, doesn't tell me anything. What the hell is going on? Toyama squeaked out a drawn-out whine. Okay, I'm sick of this. I'm hanging up now. Minorikawa was about to break the connection when he heard Toyama murmur. The only thing I can do now is die. What? Taxi lurched to a sudden stop as the driver slammed on the brakes. Minorikawa pitched forward, his face smacking against the back of the seat in front of him. Kimizuka stuck his head out the window. Careful, buddy, he shouted at someone on the street ahead. You're gonna get yourself killed. Oh, it's Kano. Minorikawa blinked the stars from his eyes and saw a man moving alongside the cab. The guy grabbed onto the handle of the back door. Please, I need you to let me have this cab. No way, Minorikawa snapped. Just who did this guy think he was? Please, I'm begging you here. Look, I'm in a hurry, pal. Get your own cab. I know how ridiculous this must sound, but please, this is really, really urgent. Urgent? Yes, it's a matter of life or death. Please. This guy did look pretty desperate. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm dealing with something urgent here, too. Then let me ride with you. I'll pay for the whole fare. My entire future is on the line here. This guy sure was persistent. Maybe he was telling the truth. But Minorikawa had problems of his own. Sorry, buddy. It's life or death on my end, too. Oh my god! Gotta look after me and mine. Right. So sorry to trouble you. The guy finally gave up and shuffled away. Guess it couldn't have been that much of a life-ending crisis after all. Minorikawa checked his wristwatch. Damn it! It just cost us 5 minutes! Try to make it up, sir! The driver called back. The taxi lurched into motion, the engine quickly revving up to speed. God dang! Oh my god, he's really zooming! Once inside the building, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the 3rd and 4th floors. In all likelihood, Toyama would be at the editing department of the 4-star General Gossip on the 4th floor. When he got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minorikawa took a deep breath and kicked the door in. Whoa! The sight he stepped into the office filled him with horror. Is he? Oh no! Too bad, Kano. True. Minorikawa clutched the sides of his head. I'm too late. Wait, could we have prevented this? Oh no. If only I'd gotten here a little sooner. Oh, okay, so we have to be Kano and not stop the cab. Just 5 minutes. Ah, rip! And sad to say, it was really all Kano's fault. Why does Kano want a taxi so badly? Check his 110 timestamp and the situation might become clearer. Okay then. Okay then, Kano. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. But since we've already been going with the new characters so far, let's go with Osawa first, then Kano next, right? We'll do Achi last because I feel like he's hard stuck. Let me drink some water. Wealth, fame, power. No, I'm kidding. it's the One Piece opening. Tony, Mese, Chikara. Wealth, status, honor. None of these mean anything to me. All I want is a peaceful life. To put worry behind me. To stay calm and serene. To be free of worldly concerns. Free at any cost. Ayo? Are you at a concert, bro? Oh, no. It's the radio. Oh, it's a CD player. Okay, I'm dumb. A cheery rhythm pumped from the CD player set up against the study wall. It was the latest hit from Aya Kamiki, the songwriter sensation who was blowing up the pop charts. Oh my god, it's getting louder! Kenji Osawa reached for the stereo remote on his desktop. He ratcheted the volume up a little louder. It's a nice song though, I just hope it doesn't get muted. He looked like the sort of man who'd be more interested in classical music, but the fact that he was a huge fan of girl rock popular with middle schoolers. Closing his eyes, he swayed back and forth in time with the music, humming his favorite lyrics under his breath, but his movements faltered. It's no use. Aya's voice usually soothed whatever ailed him, but today, even she couldn't help. Today, Osawa was a complete wreck, in both body and mind. Mounds of paperwork were scattered across the desktop in his study. What is this? Viruses. All of it about viruses and vaccines. It had only been a week since he'd returned from a business trip to his company's branch office in the US, and he was slated to go back in another week's time. It was a truly staggering amount of work, and he needed to get through while he was at home. He picked up one of his papers, glanced at it aimlessly, and tossed it back onto the desk. Slumping back in his chair, he let out a long, deep sigh. He was in no mental state to work right now. A faint knock at the door barely roused him from his torpor. "Director, may I come in?" It was his vice director, Mamoru Tanaka. "Sure, the door's open." Tanaka came into the study. I know it's not a great time, but... Osawa could barely make out his words. He tapped the remote, lowering the volume of the music. Tanaka continued apologetically. A call came from the lab. They're hoping for a response to the email they sent yesterday. I'm sure they don't need it today. Apparently they do need an answer as soon as possible, sir. I did ask them to give you some more time, but... I see, Osawa said wearily. Alright then. Tanaka dipped his head slightly and slipped out of the room. Man, what is happening to this guy? I would have thought he's like related to the twin girls. Osawa contemplated his colleague. Tanaka was a man he could truly depend on. He has enough work to do on his own. He didn't have to come here again today, but he did. They had been working in close concert ever since Osawa had gotten back to Japan. Without Tanaka's support, there was no way he would be in a mindset to do any work at all right now. Silding. Why is it silding again? Is this an actual word? It's not a typo? Up to his computer, Osawa opened his email program and started answering the work-related messages. He reported on his business travel expenses, he offered his opinions on capital investments, requested confirmation on current medicinal stockpiles. He worked with bleak detachment. None of this meant anything to him right now. Then a new email appeared in his inbox. The sender was simply identified as A. The subject, of line read, 1 year ago, South Africa. The message body was blank, but there appeared to be multiple images attached. Ordinarily, Osawa would have deleted a message like this immediately, assuming it contained some kind of virus. But the words South Africa drew his attention. Could this possibly be related to... Oh, was there an incident? He couldn't help but wonder. For a long moment, he hovered the cursor over one of the image files. At last, as if spurred on by an upbeat rhythm in his ears, he double-clicked the mouse. Please don't be a jump scare. Please don't be a jump scare. It's sort of a jump scare, but it's very pixelated. Okay. Whew. Safe! Safe! What is this? A grainy photograph showed a large room with a dozen or so people laid out in beds. It appeared to be some sort of medical ward. Osawa felt a strange flutter in his chest. He quickly opened another image. This one showed a close-up of one of the patients in his bed. Large red blotches covered his face. A large volume of blood appeared to be dripping from his ears and nostrils. A cold shudder ran up Osawa's spine. What the hell? These symptoms! He opened the remaining image files. This is eerie. Each new picture showed another of the patients. They all appeared to be teetering on the brink of death. There was no doubt about it. These people were infected with the UA virus. The what? Okay, UA virus 1. It belongs to the family Filoviridae, genus something. Okay. It is a member of the same family as the Ebola virus and causes UA virus fulminant hemorrhagic fever. It's capable of airborne transmission, although an infected individual cannot pass on the infection before symptoms manifest. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, have assigned for the virus to risk group 4, the classification for the most... Okay, so it's like super infectious, super dangerous. Radical 6, honestly! Radical 6 vibes. But how? Questions tumble through Osawa's mind. But it looks more painful than Radical 6. His fingers tapped out a quick message. He doubted he'd get a response, but he might as well try. Who are you? Where are these images from? I would have thought it's in the title. He wrote 1 year ago, South Africa, right? Okay then. The UA virus got its name from a Swahili word for flower. Oh, this is the second one, okay? Virus is roughly 90 nm to 110 nm in diameter. Okay, 500 to 700 long. Because of its pronounced sickle-like shape, is sometimes known as the sickle of death, which possesses a viral envelope with the surface of which is coated with the spike-shaped protein protuberances. 1 nanometer. Okay. It's really small. Supposedly, this was based on the fact that it propagated from the virus. The propagated form of the virus resembled petals of a flower. Despite the flowery name, however, the disease was anything but pretty. UA didn't just mean flower, it also meant to kill. As the name suggested, the virus had a mortality rate of 100% in those it managed to infect. Oof. Mortality rate of 100%. Okay, cases of infection are largely unknown because all patients infected have died within a short time frame. Okay. As more incidences of known cases grows, the number might drop below 100%, but the mortality rate will likely remain extraordinarily high. Okay. Moreover, there was a short incubation period in between infection, the onset of symptoms, and death. Okay, inhaled viral particles when spread from the lungs to the lymph nodes and dispersed throughout the body, the virus propagates in several places, including liver cells and macrophages, component of the immune system, and destroys the endothelial cells within blood vessels. Upon reaching the brain, it forms a neural sludge of blood with other bodily fluid. Okay. Within roughly 12 hours, bleeding would set in through the body, everywhere but the bones and muscles, with lethal results. Due to its incredibly high mortality rate, the disease's very existence had been kept hidden from public knowledge. Osawa's computer chimed to signify the arrival of a new email. The sender was A. He hurried to open the message. Once again, the subject line read, 1 year ago, South Africa. Your crimes. What? Osawa stared at those two words, my crimes. That only left him with further questions. He looked again with the images from the previous email. What makes any of this my crimes? He could see the patient's bleeding was very severe. He estimated that several hours had passed since the onset of the disease. It wouldn't be very long before their lives were cut short. To feel that agony, that suffering, and then to perish. Am I to blame for that? Well, I mean, unless he developed it, I don't know. Don't know anything about this guy. Another faint knock came at the door. Darling? Do you have a moment? It was his wife, I. Oh, yeah, let's close it before she comes in, right? I don't want her to walk in on that eerie stuff. Okay, just give me a second. Osawa hurriedly closed the mail program. Even if it was nothing more than some sick prank he didn't want, and it wasn't anything he wanted his family to see. Especially not I. Alright, come in. Osawa turned to see that I had already let herself into the study. The sharp sting of her perfume made him scrunch up his face for a moment. Have you reconsidered the whole America thing? She asked. This again, Osawa thought sullenly to himself. Please, he said. Can we not discuss this right now? If not now, then when? You know this isn't a decision to just make on your own. On his latest business trip, a major American pharmaceutical firm attempted to headhunt him, asking him to join to be among the top researchers in the world. The money and prestige held no interest for him. He was reluctant to turn his back on Okoshi Pharmaceutical after his many years of service. Okay, it's where he works. It's a major corporation with a solid sales network domestically and internationally with an annual turnover of 1 trillion yen. It holds patents for several medications that are in demand worldwide and influential at the Ministry of Health, Labor, Welfare, and other political institutions. Roughly employs 7,000 people and 600 researchers. Okay. Nonetheless, he was intrigued by the offer. It would mean the chance to conduct his virus research in a much better funded environment. Taking the job would necessitate relocating to the US, however. When he mentioned the possibility of emigrating to I, she shot the idea down on the spot. Her opposition was understandable. Ai's father, Suguro Makino, was a member of the Okoshi Pharmaceuticals board of directors. There's no way he was gonna let Osawa jump ship to another company. Darling, please. I drew closer to him. Think about it from my perspective. If you leave for America, what am I supposed to tell my father? He'd gotten so used to it, that grating whine of hers. Have you considered what might happen to Okoshi if you leave, dear? We can discuss that once all this is finished. Osawa kept his voice as level as he could. You do remember that you're a director, right? I said. You have responsibilities. Stop thinking about yourself so much. With a sour look, I turned and departed. Ooh. If this is the family of the twins, that's rough. Well, he had known moving to America would have never been a simple matter, regardless of what his wife thought about it. There was another reason, however, the antiviral agent that he had developed at Okoshi. Okay. It's a drug used to treat viral infections. Includes drugs used against influenza and HIV. Treatments do not eliminate the infection, rather they simply inhibit the development of the disease. There's still many issues with such, including the risk that the treated viruses possess or develop a resistance and make the treatment ineffective. Okay. After the UA virus was discovered, infectious disease research facilities worldwide had thrown themselves into a top-secret effort to develop a vaccine. But Makino had ordered Osawa to work on creating an antiviral agent, not a vaccine. A vaccine immunized, how do I say this word again? I know what it is, but I don't remember how to say it all of a sudden. The subject in order to prevent infection in the first place. Okay. Conversely, an antiviral agent could be used to treat patients already infected. It was a so-called wonder drug for combating the virus itself. Creating such a drug was far easier said than done. Developing the antiviral had been a long, arduous road. Man. Only after years of research had Osawa's team succeeded in identifying a substance that might qualify as an antiviral agent for UA. In theory, if it was administered during the virus's initial stages, 100% recovery could be attained. Also suggested an 80% survival rate for patients treated shortly after the onset of the symptoms. But there was a fatal flaw with the new antiviral agent. The side effects on the body were unusually potent. If it was administered in amounts beyond a certain threshold, it was linked to life-threatening complications. For a time, the research was at an impasse. It seemed like the drug had to be administered at a high volume to combat the explosive propagation of the UA virus, but then Osawa had received some fortuitous news. Okoshi Pharmaceuticals' nanotechnology branch engineered cutting-edge device known as the DDS. Yeah, the small tech, okay. The drug delivery system, okay. It administers ultramicroscopic drug capsules to a targeted area of the body, okay. Osawa had jumped in on it immediately. By administering his antiviral agent with the nanotech DDS, he was able to use smaller amounts of the drug to quash the UA virus with precision. Okay. Because it can be used to deliver it with pinpoint precision, it can, and only where it's needed, it can greatly reduce the side effects of even very potent drugs. Okay. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. Man, this Osawa guy is so technical. Like, I feel like I'm playing a completely different game. All of a sudden, there's this UA virus thing. But if he's related to the twins, then I'm slowly starting to see why this whole, like, situation is even existing. There was a marked increase in the drug's efficacy alongside the unexpected decrease in adverse side effects. The effects had been confirmed via animal testing on monkeys, and now the antiviral was ready for the final development stages, clinical trials on humans. I thought this was a funny mascot game. I thought this was a detective mystery game. Why do I feel like I'm playing like Resident Evil in the POV of the researchers? But the very existence of this new wonder drug was still a secret. No doubt Okoshi's leadership would be reluctant to see Osawa, the drug's lead researcher, transferred to another company. Still, it wasn't completely outside of the realm of possibility. Once the antiviral was out of development and announced to the public, Osawa would be free and clear. And for that reason, he was loath to cause any friction over the drug right now. This anxiety only magnified his concern about the email he just received. Osawa called up Tanaka over the intercom. There's something I want to show you. Could you come in here? He needed a second opinion, and Tanaka could be relied upon. Okay. Osawa opened the door the moment Tanaka knocked. He looked around before ushering his vice director inside. What's this about, sir? This. Osawa showed him one of the images. Tanaka's face went pale. It can't be. Tanaka clearly recognized the symptoms of the UA virus. Any idea what this is about? Osawa asked. No, sir. These images were just emailed to me. The subject line says, 1 year ago, South Africa. That would put it around the same time as the most recent run of infections, wouldn't it, sir? But that information isn't... Tanaka trailed off. Osawa nodded. The thing I don't understand is why these pictures were sent to me. Osawa opened the other email from A. The second message says that these pictures I got are my crimes. I'll look into this on my end, sir, Tanaka said. He hesitated uncomfortably. Sir, just to make sure, Are you asking what I think you're asking about? Osawa said. Tanaka gave a slight nod. Understood, Osawa said. Don't worry, I won't trouble you. I appreciate that, sir. Visibly relieved, Tanaka left the study. What are we even talking about? It's 2 gigabrain, bro. Osawa brought up a folder marked UA virus on his screen. Within the folder were enlarged images of the virus itself. He double-clicked one of the images. It blew up on the monitor to reveal the pathogen in intricate detail. The specimen of the UA virus was approximately 100 nanometers in diameter. 10,000 of them in line would take up barely a millimeter. But a single tiny virion, upon entering the human body, could become 2,000 in an hour. That speed of multiplication was nothing short of astonishing. Even the Ebola virus had a typical incubation period of 7 days or so before the infectees developed symptoms. For influenza, it was 1 or 2, but the onset of the UA virus, happened in a mere 12 hours. Osawa viewed an image slideshow of the virus's propagation mechanism. It was a fascinating sight, no matter how many times he looked at it. Viruses existed to multiply, nothing more. They had no motives, no driving logic, nothing but simple multiplication. To Osawa, that held a certain air of mystery. If viruses had emotions, how would they feel about their lives? He had thrown himself into virus research in search of answers to questions like that. Answers that no man could truly know. His development of the antiviral agent had really been nothing more than another job responsibility. He felt no particular sense of duty to protect people from a killer virus. He was just happy for a chance to play around with the UA day after day. Another email arrived in his inbox. The sender, A. The subject line, 1 year ago, South Africa. Again. Osawa read the message. Do not look away. These are your crimes. This time, there were 4 images attached. Osawa proceeded to open each one of them in turn. The first shocked Osawa so much that he felt like he'd been punched in the head. One of the UA patients from earlier images was being injected with something. No, Osawa muttered to himself. No, is it the antiviral? It can't be. The second image showed one of the infected, hunched over in pain, vomiting up blood. The symptoms had already manifested, but Osawa thought he could still see that some degree of life had come back into the patient's eyes. He rushed to open the third image. It showed a morgue, piled high with corpses. The rictus of anguish on the dead faces made them no longer human. Made them look no longer human. Various fluids seeped from the eyes and nostrils. The lymph nodes were grotesquely swollen. Ew, 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 ew. Bro, what is happening? This is like Resident Evil for real though. There were hospital beds, stained with massive amounts of blood and gastric fluids. Next came the fourth and final image. What is that? I can't tell what it is. More corpses. They had badges affixed to their chests with various labels. 6 hours past, 12 hours past, and 18 hours past, as if someone had been attempting live trials with the antiviral agent. Osawa didn't consider the antiviral agent ready for release, but that was because his team hadn't conducted clinical trials on humans yet, and there was a good reason why such trials hadn't been conducted. There was no way to test the efficacy of the drug without an infected patient. To run a proper clinical test, someone would first need to be infected with the UA virus. No matter how effective animal testing had been, if the drug had proved ineffective on humans, the person would have been a guaranteed death sentence. It was unthinkable to run trials that involved with such a deadly risk. And yet, as he looked over the images again and again, Osawa became certain. Without his knowledge, someone, presumably someone from Okashi Pharmaceutical, had conducted human testing with the antiviral agent. The time markers on the corpses in the fourth image were surely there to mark the time elapsed since the onset of symptoms. A thorough trial would test the drug's effectiveness within those time frames. Osawa slammed his fist on the desk and raged. This was nothing short of vile human experimentation in the guise of clinical testing. People responsible could not be allowed to get away with this. If there was only one person Osawa could trust to keep this under wraps. His boss, Makino. Oh. He reached for his phone to call Makino, but stopped as soon as he picked up the receiver. He knew he was in no state of mind to have a calm, reasoned conversation right now. Turning to the CD player, he put on Aya Kamiki's latest album. Okay, he's chilling again. Man, that was deep as hell, okay? If that... What? I feel slightly overwhelmed with all of the info that we had to take in there. Leaning back in his chair, he surrendered himself to her soothing tones. Bit by bit, he could feel himself returning to a calmer, emotional state. There had been a time when Osawa hadn't listened to music at all. In fact, he had no interest in the arts in general. Music, painting, cinema. It was only due to a simple coincidence that he found Aya Kamiki. J-pop saves souls, let's go! His daughter asked for a CD as a birthday present, so he swung by the store to pick one up. Since Kamiki's new album had just come out, there was a display for it in the front of the shop. Something about the bright, colorful album packaging had drawn him in. After a time, Osawa could feel himself growing calmer. He took a nice, deep breath. I'll dial up Makino, why won't I? No, let's try to banish our nerves completely before we dial him up. Oh, Aya Kamiki is a real singer? Sheesh! If this is actually her songs, then she's like really good. I like it. First, he took a nice deep breath, and then he closed his eyes and tried to banish his nerves completely. Inclining his head towards the music, he could feel the melody pervade his body. He could scarcely believe there had been a time where he hadn't cared about music. Surely something that had such a strong effect on the body and mind alike also conveyed a deeper meaning. Osawa let the positive energy flow through him, buoying his spirits. At last, when his mood had sufficiently calmed under the music's influence, Osawa reached for the handset. Whoa! Steady door opened and a stolid-faced man appeared at the doorway. I beg your pardon, Mr. Osawa. Would you mind coming to the living room for a moment? Bro, you kinda scared me. What the fuck? Oh, it's detectives. The detectives assembled in the living room all wore grave expressions. The room was brimming with tension, and Osawa felt it ramp up even further as he entered. What is it? He asked. Has something happened? The man who had come to find him turned to speak, hesitating at first. Yes, it turns out that your other daughter, Hitomi, has been abducted by an unknown party. Oh, he is their father! Okay then, I see the connection. Abducted. No, I see it! I see the connection then! Maybe the people who are like... the people who abducted his daughter, yeah. The kidnapping is probably because of the virus drama stuff, right? So that's probably why we got so much background on it. Okay. Osawa's mind whirled. What are you talking about? Maria's the one who's been abducted. No, sir, you don't understand. I'm saying that Hitomi has also been abducted in addition to Maria. Don't be ridiculous. The night before, his daughter Maria gets kidnapped, and the morning his other daughter Hitomi gets carried off when she goes to deliver the ransom? He'd never heard of anything more outrageous in his life. We're sorry, sir. A detective was with her, but... The police went on to explain that Hitomi had somehow managed to end up all by herself, and while she was alone, several individuals had forced her into a car and driven off. Osawa could barely comprehend what they were saying. His mind was in a fog. The detective's words seemed to grow quieter and quieter. Osawa's strength drained from his body. His ability to process external stimuli began to drift far, far away. It's not possible. It can't be. No one could keep them safe? Not me. Not anyone? My girls, Hitomi, Maria. It's not true. This is all just a bad dream. Some kind of sick joke. It's not true. It's all just a bad dream. It's a lie. It's a twisted joke. Someone made this all up. Stop it. Stop saying this. I don't want to hear it. Tell me it's all a lie. Tell me it isn't true. Tell me, please. Ah! He's having a breakdown. Slowly, the ceiling began to spin. Then Osawa's vision went awash with white. He fainted, I guess. Bad end. The worst case scenario. Ooh, yeah, that's horrendous. The key lies with Achi's decision at 11:05. Bro, it lies with how we change being in that situation with the gunpoint. Damn. Complete mental breakdown, eh? Of course. Alright then. Of course we're leaving Achi for last though. Kano time, dick dictum time. We're not stopping that cab though. We're not stopping that cab. Okay, yeah. Last time we left off with Kano, he was chasing after the dick dictum. Yeah. But now all that Resident Evil virus stuff makes sense to me, right? Because I got the background and I realized, okay, he's their dad. And now it also makes sense why he just had that huge ransom money ready. And he's like, okay, overnight, all right, here's the money. Yeah, like, it makes sense because he's such a big shot in, like, the pharmaceutical world. Okay. As he wandered through the back alleys, Kano gritted his teeth. Going after the guy on the bike had been a bad judgment call. By the time he got back up onto the pedestrian overpass, the man who had thrown the attaché case was almost out of sight. Kano prided himself on being fleet of foot, but he knew even he would never catch the guy before he disappeared. He followed the culprit as far as the alleys, but he'd lost him completely. All he could do now was hope one of his colleagues caught the man on the motorcycle. Kuze's voice. Kuze! I'm sorry, every time I see Kuze, I think of Yakuza. Kuze's voice crackled through the earpiece. Mobile Command Center calling all units. The suspect on a motorcycle has handed off the case to an accomplice in Miyashita Park, another foreigner. For real? Kano muttered. One thing immediately struck him as strange. Why hand off the case to someone else at all? Why not just escape on the bike? The man with the motorcycle dumped the bike and fled on foot. We've retrieved the bike and run the plate. We've determined it was a stolen vehicle. We still don't have enough details to positively ID the suspect. The suspect is now carrying the attaché case and is heading through Dogenzaka, also on foot. We've got him under observation. Dogenzaka, huh? That wasn't too far from where Kano was now. It looks like we're dealing with a foreign crime syndicate that's familiar with Shibuya. All units, head to Dogenzaka. But do not, I repeat, do not attempt to apprehend the suspect with a case. Let's see where he goes. Kano nodded to himself. Without knowing more about the crook's MO, letting this guy go for now was probably the only right call. I just want you all to know one last thing. Kuze's tone grew more solemn. Whatever happens, I know I can count on each and every one of you. Don't disappoint me. Over and out. Why'd you have to end that call with, like, the expectation? Kano had the unsettling feeling that the message had been meant for him. Right, it's now or never. The sudden appearance of the syndicate and the bizarre actions were rapidly moving things beyond the jurisdiction of both the MPD and the local police. Mustering his resolve, Kano headed for Dogenzaka. Kano pulled his cell phone out of his pocket. It was Rumi calling. She knew full well when he wasn't supposed to take private calls while he was working a case. Maybe it was an emergency? He decided to pick up. Rumi? I'm sorry. Are you in the middle of something right now? Kind of. Is this an emergency? Well, yeah. So I'm in Shibuya right now and... Shibuya? Why'd she have to be in Shibuya now of all times? So, my father came down from Nagano all of a sudden. What? Rumi's father, Shizuo, had been staunchly opposed to the two of them getting married. Kano visited his home many times, but the man never deigned to meet him. Yeah, he told me he wants to meet with you. What? Now? Oh no. Kano blurted out the words with more alarm than he'd intended. I told him you were busy working, but he said he'd wait. This can't be happening, Kano whimpered to himself. I'm sorry, I know he can be demanding. That's not the issue. Her dad offering to wait made it harder for him to refuse. Alright, Kano said, but I'll have to call you back later, okay? I really am sorry. I'll be at the cafe called Lautrec. It's by the train station. Rumi hung up. For a long moment, Kano stood in a daze, staring at his phone, as if keeping up with the case wasn't stressful enough. Do you have a dictum for this, bro? At last, he stumbled into motion, but even as he scoured Dogenzaka for any sign of the criminal, his mind remained fixed on the meeting with Rumi's dad. There was no way of knowing when he'd be done with his casework today. But could he really pass up a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get her father's approval and her hand in marriage? Maybe he could slip away for just a bit. There were plenty of detectives still tailing the suspect. Taking 15 minutes or so to deal with Shizuo wouldn't be such a big deal, would it? Okay, look, I know this is a bad ending, but I gotta do it. It's now or never, Kano decided. His future happiness depended on winning over Shizuo. He might not have the opportunity later if the kidnapping case wound up going south. He'd just have to make sure he didn't linger too long. He was trying to decide the best way possible to save as much time when he caught sight of a taxi pass. Oh, so this is why he stopped the taxi. Okay. He stepped out onto the street and flagged the cab down. The station wasn't too far away, but it'd be faster to take a car than run there. The taxi screeched to a halt. "Careful, buddy," shouted the cab driver through the window. "You're gonna get yourself killed." Looking more closely, Kano saw there was already someone in the backseat. Well, crap. He hadn't considered the cab might already be taken. Still, he didn't have time to wait for another to come along. Leaned into the back door of the taxi. "Please, I need to let you Okay, beggars couldn't be choosers after all. "No way," snapped the passenger. He didn't seem like the genial type. "I'm begging you here. Look, I'm in a hurry, pal. Get your own cab. I know how ridiculous this must sound, but please, this is really, really urgent." Urgent? Yes, it's a matter of life or death. Please. "Look, sorry, I'm also dealing something urgent here, too." "Then let me ride with you. I'll pay for the whole fare. My entire future's on the line here." "Sorry, buddy. It's life or death on my end, too. Gotta look out for me and mine." Kano could see this was going nowhere. "Right. So sorry to trouble you." He stepped back in frustration. The taxi sped away. Kano scanned the area looking for other cabs. Instead, he spotted the man with the attaché case. It was a stroke of dumb luck, but Kano wasn't going to lose sight of him now. He decided to follow. Further up along Dogenzaka, in the direction the perp was heading. No, okay. Let's load. Let's make a different... Let's change the decision. If it's gonna end up there anyway, let's not head to the cafe at all. So that we don't have to stop... so that we don't have to stop the cab, and we don't have to reload again later. Okay. No, not right now. Right now I have a job to focus on. Kano shook his head to clear out the foolish impulses. What had he been thinking? A girl's life was on the line. Marrying Rumi was more important to him than anything, but now wasn't the time. Besides, now that he thought about it, running out on a critical investigation to meet with the old man probably wasn't gonna score him any points. Rumi's dad didn't strike him as someone who'd approve of shirking one's responsibilities. Kano would just have to wrap this kidnapping case a little ahead of schedule. That way, he could have a proper sit-down with Shizuo. As he considered his plan, he caught sight of the man with the attaché case walking by. Here we are, the stroke of dumb luck, right? Okay, further up along Dogenzaka in the direction the perp was heading was the Yamatedori joined Route 246. Maybe this guy was planning to meet up with a getaway car. No, wait. Hold on. If that were the plan, why would the gang have ditched the motorcycle earlier? Kano started tailing the man. Racking his brain all the while, the suspect turned down a narrow side road. He wasn't heading toward Yamatedori or Route 246 at all, but back toward Shibuya Station. What in the world was going on? It was starting to feel like the crooks were messing with the investigation team. Kano radioed Kuze on the wireless. "Sir, I don't think there's any point in seeing where this guy leads us anymore." "That's not your call to make. Keep watching him." "Sir, this is a waste of time. That girl might be in danger if..." Kano's argument was cut short as he saw the man hand off the attaché case to yet another foreigner. Again? How many times were these criminals going to pull this trick? The detectives broke into two groups to follow both of the men. Kano followed the man with the attaché case, who eventually led him back to the area around Shibuya Station. Rumi and Shizuo should be waiting at a cafe nearby right now. He tried to remember the name. That's right, it's called Lautrec. Okay, a college student Ryoko Kakinuma works as a waitress. Oh, it's that chick that we saved before. Okay. Named after a 19th century French painter Henri Toulouse, Lautrec. His numerous works include many posters, book illustrations, book covers, which are highly regarded in the art world. Okay. He kept his eye out for a place by that name as he tailed the target. Before long, he did spot the cafe. Its large plate glass window offered a view of the cozy interior. The sign in front read Lautrec. Looks like this was the place. The man with the case was at the intersection waiting for the light to change. Kano took the opportunity to peer inside. He spotted Rumi right away. She was facing away from him, so the man seated across from her must be her father. He realized he'd never seen a picture of him. Shizuo grow organic produce up in Nagano nowadays, but until 2 years ago he'd been a detective within the investigation division. Rumi looked up to her father for his distinguished police career and always spoke quite highly of him. Kano figured that if he became a policeman, Rumi might appreciate that. It was his simple impulse that led him to join the force. He also figured that public servants could stay afloat even in times of recession, and that his physical training would serve him well in this line of work. Once he was a policeman, he thought he could approach Shizuo with his head held high and ask for his blessing in marrying his daughter. After Rumi graduated from university, Shizuo had up and retired from police work. Even Rumi didn't know why he made the decision. Kano traveled to Nagano many times to ask Shizuo for permission to marry her, but the only response he ever got was, "I'm not giving away my daughter to any cop." Kano had never even gone past the intercom before her father turned him away. Years on the force had nearly made Kano lose sight of what had driven him to become a policeman in the first place. And now, the chance to meet Shizuo face to face has finally come. He peered intently into the cafe. Across from Rumi sat an older man with a grim expression. Wait a minute. No, I'm not sure. I don't think he's the same, right? Just who was this hard-faced fellow? It took a lot to rattle Kano, but the guy looked scary. Could this really be his sweet little Rumi's father? The prospect of meeting him later filled Kano with sudden dread. Yeah, he looked so cool though. The man went into JR Shibuya Station and stood before the ticket machine. It looked like he was planning on boarding a train. A scene from a popular movie about a kidnapping sprang to Kano's mind, where the crook had made off with the ransom money after it was tossed out the window of a train. What if this guy managed to get outside Dragnet and pull a stunt like that? It looks like the suspect's gonna board the train. Kano informed Kuze over the wireless. Make sure you stay on his tail. Apparently Kuze still wanted to string the perp along for a bit. They got the lizards ready to pursue. The what? The motorcycle squads, okay. We'll re-establish our Dragnet around whatever station he gets off at. The man purchased a ticket from the machine and passed through the gate. There was no way to tell which station he'd bought a ticket for, but it looked like he was heading clockwise along the Yamanote line loop. Kano used his prepaid card and made his way through the ticket gate as well. Okay, he doesn't actually get free rides. It's just prepaid cards, okay. An announcement chime signaled the imminent arrival of a train up on the platform. The man made his way up the stairs looking calm and composed. He showed no sign of checking for pursuers. Kano hurried after him. The man stopped at the very edge of the platform to await the train. Not ideal. There was no way for Kano to get close without sticking out like a sore thumb. The train glided up to the platform. The man gave a quick look around as he stepped aboard. Kano followed. Trains on the Yamanote line didn't stop for long, and they were soon on their way. Okay. Push him! No! How will we solve it? Glancing around, Kano noticed other MPD investigators who had slipped aboard the train as well. The suspect stood behind the driver's compartment, staring contemplatively at the scenery outside. The man's composure only served to rattle Kano more. A man in a gaudy necktie walked past Kano talking on his cell phone. Yes, everything's going fine on this end, he said. There's no need to worry. On the other hand, he carried the same sort of attaché case as the man they were tailing. He headed right towards the driver's compartment and stood next to the suspect. Oh shit. Well now, that's not suspicious. Kano leaned his head subtly, straining to make out what he could of the phone conversation at the other end of the car. Yes, of course, 225 pages, all fully proofread. 225. It is the Article 225 of the Penal Code of Japan details kidnapping for profit and kidnapping for ransom. It's also shorthand for police shorthand for kidnapping. Oh, okay. That was police jargon for kidnapping. Was this guy in cahoots with the kidnapper? Maybe the criminals had planned an attaché case swap. Kano watched the newcomer like a hawk. But rather than making contact with the suspect, the man turned around and strolled back the way he came. He hadn't done anything suspicious at all. Yes, right. Understood. The man stole a glimpse of the man's face as he passed. He stopped and looked at Kano, seemingly aware that he was being watched. Kano decided to... Oh, what? Staring contest, bro. Staring Kano decided to stare him down. Huh, my apologies, the man said. He shut his phone with a click. I know it's rather rude to talk on one's cell phone when you're on a train. That's just common decency. The man affected a smile and headed back to the car from which he'd come. Sheesh, guess I overreacted. You gotta stop staring at everyone, an oddly dressed passenger murmured into Kano's ear. Blend into your surroundings more. Sasayama? Sasayama? When did you get here? His partner had somehow found time to change his disguise. The steely expression on his face was at odds with his anime nerd getup. Kano had seen Sasayama disguise himself as plenty of things throughout the years. Disguise. Santa is a must for Christmas. Stakeouts to the smile. Keep presents in a bag. Calm down children in case of emergency. What is this play? Oh, he has so many. What is that last one? It's quite rare for Sasayama to actually wear a suit on the occasion when he does. He's walking the halls of his home precinct, frequently unrecognized. Okay. Chef, magician, samurai, and astronaut to name a few, but this was a new extreme even for him. When he joined the force, Kano had found Sasayama's costume antics amusing, wondering where he even managed to find his outfits, but lately his quirk had become tedious. You like the ocean? Huh? Never mind. Oh, it's this... It's the thing we handed off to him. Sasayama pulled a small bottle from his breast pocket. Drink this while you can. Guessing you haven't eaten. Huh? What's this? The least I could do. He handed Kano the bottle and slipped away into the next compartment. Oh my god, he's actually drinking it. He'd pulled an all-nighter, so he hadn't eaten anything, so he was glad to have something. He took a sip. Whatever this was, it was bland. Almost didn't taste like anything. What had Sasayama given him? Ah, what the heck. Anything's better than nothing. He brought the bottle to his lips and chugged the contents down. He suddenly got a massive head rush. He felt a heat like burning that spread from his inside throughout his whole body. No, this wasn't right. It was an ache. A ferocious ache. A burning that spread from his insides to his fingertips, and there was pain. A numbing that spread down from his insides all the way down to his toes. Burning, aching, hurting. What is up with this drink, yo? Twitchy, itchy, dizzy, sleepy, chilly, willy-nilly. This was not good. This was super duper not good. He broke out into a cold sweat, his forehead drenched, his body damp and clammy all over. He felt his grip on consciousness slipping. Sasayama, what the hell did you do to me? With bleary eyes, he squinted to read the writing on the bottle. Burn. Oh my god, bro. After a scant few letters, Kano blacked out. Bad ending! So I'm not supposed to give him the least he could do. Ah, yeah. So I am not supposed to give it to Sasayama. Okay. That's kind of funny though. So I'm supposed to give it to the random dude. Okay, I'll do that. I'll give it to the random dude first. Although, I have run out of water and my throat is starting to hurt a bit, so I'm gonna go grab some water. Because I'm determined to finish at least one time block per stream, right? So I'm determined to finish this time block somehow. So first, I'm gonna go refill on water. So be right back for a bit. Thank you! I have rehydrated. I feel reborn like Tama. Okay, because I normally only have one glass with me, so I had to get a lot of water. Okay, here we go. Back to Tama. Oh wait, I forgot. This one. Hey, I need to not give the sample to Sasayama. I didn't realize the sample had so much power, you know? Okay, let's force it off on the businessman to the left. Hi! Take it. Here you go, sir. A free sample of Burning Hammer, the latest greatest diet drink. Thank you for the hydrate posture check and stretch. Yes! The businessman flashes me a look of utter contempt and makes a point of avoiding me as he slips past. Bam! There goes the wind right out of my sails. Wonder how the other mascot's doing now. Okay, she's doing fine, but I need to wait for it to say like save at the bottom. Or maybe I can already go. Here. At this point, let's try going back to Kano. I mean, to be fair, Kano's almost through. He's already at 11:35. Well, I stared him down earlier. Let me look away. Look away nonchalantly. His anxiety got the better of him, and after a moment, he turned his gaze right back. Okay, they were locked in a staring contest. And it still ends up with him saying that. Okay. And Sasayama should come up to us? Holy Trinity of Redeem's true. Okay, stop staring at everyone. Blend in more. Santa Claus. Kano had seen Sasayama disguise himself as many things throughout the years. Santa Claus, Yakuza member, Japanese folk singer, and a Buddhist priest, to name a few, but this was a new extra. Aight. Okay. Concentrate. Keep your eyes peeled. Sasayama gave Kano a pat on the backside and slipped away into the next car. Alright. He didn't give us anything and we didn't black out. We're good. The suspect, meanwhile, was still staring out the window. The announcer's electronic voice filled the train compartment. Next stop, Harajuku. Next stop, Harajuku. Huh? Kano almost cried out. The suspect was moving towards the exit door. Apparently, he was only taking the train station down one line. Hello, Oxide. Thank you for dropping by. The moment the train pulled into the Harajuku station, the man got off. Hell yeah, this is like the fashion place, right? Yeah, it's got a lot of youth fashion. Detectives following him disembarked accordingly. The suspect walked along the platform and took a seat on an empty bench. Was he checking to see if he had a tail? Sticking out on the platform at a station where you just got off was pretty unusual behavior. Not wanting to arouse the man's suspicions, investigators from the MPD made their way down the stairs as inconspicuously as they could. Kano, however, had the sudden inspiration and went to speak to one of the station attendants. Sorry to bother you, but I think I left something on the train just now. He tried to keep an eye on the man on the bench as he fed his story to the attendant. The suspect sat silently on the bench, attache case clutched securely in his arms. He didn't really look like he was checking for a tail. Was he waiting here for someone else then? Oh, it's saving. Before long, a train heading counterclockwise around the loop arrived. A man rose from his bench and stepped up to the boarding area. Wait, what the heck? If this guy's got on counterclockwise train, wouldn't that just take him back to Shibuya Station? The man boarded the train. Kano had no choice but to follow suit. Was this guy playing them? Oh my god, is he just gonna go back and forth? Okay, he got off again once it reached Shibuya. All he'd done was go to Harajuku and come right back. Kano reported into Kuze. The suspect has returned to Shibuya Station. Acknowledged. Keep tailing him. Kano felt himself growing increasingly paranoid. The criminal organization didn't seem too keen on getting away. And here was HQ, giving these guys free rein. Something was off, he was sure of that. He tailed the mark. Kano took out his phone. What were Tateno's instincts about the case right now? If the senior detective had any advice, Kano would love to hear it. He dialed Tateno's number. The line rang a few times, but nobody picked up. He was probably too busy seeing to Hitomi's safety. Kano felt bewildered. He'd been letting the suspect lead them around for over an hour now. During an abduction case, you generally didn't update the victim's family on any developments in the case unless in case they tried to interfere. Kano could only imagine what the Osawa family was going through right now. After a short walk from Shibuya Station, the Itachi case was handed off yet again. This time, the recipient was a tall, dark-skinned man. Again, the Shibuya-based task force split into two groups in order to tail both suspects. The Kano stuck with the man who had the case. I feel like they're just like dividing all of our forces between all these people, and then they're just like going back and forth, leading you on like a wild goose hunt for no reason. Mostly to like divide your attention probably away from the dude with the cane, who Achi is like with at the start of this hour block. As the previous man had done, the newest suspect wandered around Dogenzaka for a while. Repeatedly looping around and around the same locations was a weirdly roundabout way of making a series of handoffs. Excuse me, detective. Kano turned around with a start. Oh hey, he said, I know you. It was Leland Palmer, the lecturer who had been eyewitness to the kidnapping. The man practically radiated concern. How is Maria doing? Is she alright? I'm very, worried for her. His Japanese was more halting now. My heart, it is with her family. Kano gave a quick look around. It didn't appear that they were being watched. Huh. Maybe Palmer knew more than he told the police earlier. Maybe we'll get additional clues if the syndicate spots us cover is blown. Why not? Why not? I mean, the syndicate is just leading us around in circles, so maybe Palmer knew more than he told the police earlier. If Kano talked to him now, he might get some additional clues. Actually, Leland, do you mind if I ask you a few more questions about the party where the kidnapping occurred? Leland squared his shoulders. No, please, ask anything. Do you know what time Maria showed up at the event? He hesitated, thinking. Probably around 6 o'clock? She was there when it started. Was there anyone else who stood out? Stood out? How? Like, someone you wouldn't usually expect to see there. Leland tilted his head. No, I don't think so. Everyone there was a student from my class, including the exchange students. Not much new here, Kano thought. He decided to ask one last question. Did you happen to hear why he told me he was running late in the first place? Oh no. Sorry, I'm not very helpful, am I? Leland dipped his head in apology. It's alright, thank you for your cooperation. Please help Maria. I will. Parted ways with Leland and went back to tailing his suspect. Oh, I get a call. It was Rumi again. Oh god. It was weird that she'd call twice when he knew he was in the middle of something important. Had something happened while she was waiting at the cafe with Shizuo? He picked up hurriedly. What's the matter? What's the matter? You know what the matter is. Rather than Rumi's soft soprano, it was a threateningly masculine voice that came over the phone. Uh-oh. Oh god! Kano felt his whole body stiffen with dread. Is this my father-in-law speaking? Oh my god! Don't remember being anyone's father-in-law. The speaker's tone was firm and flat. No, I know. I just, Kano found himself at a loss for words. So you're dating my daughter, huh? Sir, yes, sir. Kano barely squeaked out his reply. Thinking about getting married? Yes, sir. And, speaking of which, I'd love the chance to sit down and have a nice long... Then how long you gonna keep me waiting? Hurry up and get your ass over here. Oh, how very much Kano wished he could do exactly that. Sir, I would, but... Forget it. The words came out in an angry huff. You can't have her. Goodbye. What? Sir, please wait! Kano cried in desperation when he heard Rumi's voice on the other end of the line. Dad, you can't just use my phone like that. You were taking too long in the bathroom. Give it back. Rumi? Kano tried and failed to keep the heartbreak out of his voice. Sweetie, what's wrong? Your father said he just said he doesn't want us getting married. What? Dad? Why did you say that to my boyfriend? Listen to you, calling that boy little pet names and whatnot. I think you're a little too attached. Daddy, you haven't even met him. That's why I told you to have him come see me. How long is he gonna make me wait? Kano listened to the two argue on the other end of the phone. The phone must be lying somewhere in between them. Could this get any more awkward? Rumi, I'm sorry, Kano shouted apologetically into the mouthpiece. This is all my fault. Please, you don't have to fight like this. The phone clattered as Rumi scrambled to bring it to her cheek. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. Sorry for what? It was Shizuo again, grumbling in the background. You have nothing to apologize for. I'll deal with my father, Rumi said hastily. You focus on work, sweetie. I know you're in the middle of something really important. Thanks, Rumi. Oh my god, Tano was legitimately touched. I'll do my best. Kano hung up and went back to the task at hand, more determined than ever. But did we lose sight? No, we didn't. They're still there. Okay. They're still like looping in the same area. For Rumi's sake, not to mention the victims, he needed to focus on cracking the case. The man he was tailing was walking several meters ahead. There was no telling when Kuze might give the arrest order. Kano braced himself to spring into action the very instant the order came down. Mobile command to all units. Once more, the director's voice came in over the wireless. Was it time to make the arrest at last? We've identified the man who first picked up the Itachi case by the statue of Hachiko. Okay, the guy who first, took it and started this wild chase. Alright. No arrest yet then, but still a crucial development. Oh yeah, the guy who looks scary. His name is Tariq Al-Karawan. Sorry if I said that wrong. He's got priors for larceny, illegal possession of narcotics, you name it. He belongs to a foreign criminal syndicate that's operating in Shibuya. Kano felt his apprehension rising. Damn. If this syndicate was behind the kidnapping, they were anything but amateurs. And though they might be leading the police on a wild goose chase, they certainly weren't playing around. It's true. To be continued, holy shit, we finished this hour block! We finished 11 to 12 for Kano, as much as I didn't expect him to be the first one. Let's go! That's 1 out of 5. Let's go, baby. That was 1 out of 5 for the 11 to 12. Yeah, he's at 11:55 already. Alright, then. The next closest is honestly Osawa and Tama. Well, it's time to go back to Achi. Because we still haven't figured out who told the guy where to go. Wait. Not Achi. We can go to Minorikawa. We stopped him from stopping the cab. So he should make it on time to save his friend, right? Okay, let's go to Minorikawa first. I love how I have completely waited for Achi to be last. He's just in the most thrilling situation with the gunpoint. Okay, Minorikawa's frantic journey earlier had started 20 minutes earlier. Okay. He'd been at home, working on an interview piece. He clucked his tongue in annoyance. Okay. It's the phone call. I've already seen this phone call, so let's just go through it real quick. It's the flashback while he's in the car, I believe. And then this gets interrupted because he got interrupted by Kano stopping the cab and stuff. Okay, so let's just go through what we already know. And then we'll continue when it looks new. I know this flashback ends with a black screen. With the Toyama's last words. Let's see it then. But man, this guy has so many documents just stacked up on his desk. How do you find anything? Seems rough. Okay. The sobbing. Wonder what's happening to Toyama though. This one is also eerie. Because it started pretty goofy with his biking, and then all of a sudden when you realize the context, you're like, what the fuck? Although I wonder how this guy connects to the case, right? Because I've just found out how well, except Tama. Everyone else is already directly connected. Tama and this guy haven't completely connected yet. Maybe they'll connect towards the end of their time block? Okay. The taxi's tires squealed as the cab rounded a corner. The shift in momentum made him topple over in his back seat. There we go, 10 minutes on the dot, the driver announced. Minorikawa righted himself and looked out the window. Shibuya Station. I knew you could do it, Mr. Kimizuka. He told the driver how to get to Heaven Publishing. It shouldn't be more than 5 minutes further. Sir, if I may ask, why are you in such a hurry over? Son of a bitch. I beg your pardon? Kimizuka bristled. Not you, the guy who's waiting on me, Minorikawa said. I'm gonna give that son of a bitch a piece of my mind. Okay, so here's the building. Multi-tenant building where Heaven Publishing had its offices came into view. The taxi stopped outside. Minorikawa opened the door hurriedly as he reached for his wallet, then he stopped. What if the worst came to pass and he had to take Toyama to hospital? Should he have the taxi wait here? Or would it be better to call an ambulance? Sir, is there a problem? The driver asked. Do we have time to pay him? Wait here, I'll be right back. Let's do that. Minorikawa was out of the cab in an instant and running for the building. Once inside, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing up the stairs. Okay, 3rd and 4th floors, he'd be at the 4th floor. When he got there, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minorikawa took in a deep breath and kicked the door in. Whoa! Yeah, see? We caught him right on time! Toyama was standing on a stool, about to slip his head through a noose that hung from the ceiling. What the hell are you doing? He lunged for Toyama. 2 men crashed into the floor in a tangled heap. A pile of clutter slid off the nearby desk and fell on top of them. Minorikawa, what are you doing? Toyama whined. Dragging himself back to his feet proved to be something of a challenge. That's what I'd like to know. Minorikawa's fury was mounting. What the hell is this all about? He jabbed an accusing finger at the noose hanging from the ceiling. Oh, that. One of the fluorescent lights died. And I was just swapping it. You think I'm seriously gonna believe that? Don't you feed me that bull. What was that phone call about? That business was the only thing you could... that business about how the only thing you could do was die? Tell me. It's just a joke. It's just a prank, bro. No. Toyama curled his lips into a faint semblance of a smile. Minorikawa wasn't buying it, but he didn't have time to press the issue. A cute little voice echoed through the editing office. Daddy, I'm back from the store. A little girl came walking in, carrying a length of rubber gas tubing. It was Toyama's 5th grade daughter, Hana. Okay, his only daughter is 10 years old. When she was born in Shibuya Central Hospital, there was an unexpected fireworks display outside the window of the maternity ward. He looked out the bursting rockets and he decided to name his daughter Hana after the Japanese word for fireworks, hanabi. Camera's right there, bro. Minorikawa stared. Toyama, you were planning on using that hose to... He hesitated to end his sentence with gas yourself to death. Well, you know, it's almost gas heater season after all. The hell it is! It was a beautiful sunny April day outside. Well, if you know how sensitive I am to the cold, this was getting truly ridiculous. Minorikawa got right up to his face. Listen, just explain to me what the heck is going on, okay? He kept his voice low, but his eyes were steely. Hana clung tightly to her father, gazing worriedly at the 2 men. No, it's just... Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. Ah, keep out. Okay, I tried to continue, but we hit a keep out. We're gonna have to jump from someone else. Sometimes jump keywords might be hidden within a tip. A man named Junichi Yanagishita shows up in Tama's story at 11:20 and he lets out a sigh like Toyama's. Try checking the tip for that sigh. Okay, Achi time. We have to stop. I guess Achi is the guy who gave directions to the the dudes that we have to stop that from happening? Alright then. Let's go, Achi. I've kept you waiting, bro. The man with the cane aimed his gun at Hitomi, his face devoid of emotion. Please, the girl said, trembling. Why are you doing this? The man did not reply. Quickly, Achi stepped between Hitomi and the gun, spreading his arms wide. Stop! He said in English, one of the few English words he knew. He quickly reverted back to Japanese. Who the hell are you? Still, the man did not respond. You know this guy, Hitomi? No. Achi was sure he'd never seen the man either. What are you after? Money? 'Cause if you are, boy, are you wasting your time chasing us. Man furrowed his brow, adjusting his point of aim to Achi's face. His bloodthirsty gaze left Achi no doubt that he was willing to pull the trigger. Reflexively, Achi took a step back, his foot clattering against a discarded beer bottle. We're gonna get gunned down for sure unless I can find a way to catch this guy off guard. I'm broke. 100%. It didn't need to be much. If Achi could just distract the gunman for a moment, buy himself the briefest window. Shoot me then. Go on, do it. He stepped forward as he shouted, hoping provocation would confuse the guy just for long enough. Eh? Even as Achi moved, the gunman's attention was distracted for an instant by a sudden sound. The phone in his breast pocket was ringing. Seeing his chance, Achi... I have 3 choices. Depends on how strong Achi is and the other guy. Although this doesn't seem like a smart idea. Like the second one, I don't think that's a good idea. So it's either A or C for me. Let's try to get it away from him. Let's see. Seeing his chance, Achi lunged forward in an attempt to wrest the gun away. Whoa! He reached out both of his hands, attempting to knock it to the floor. The man's grip on the weapon was stronger than he expected, however, and he shoved Achi away with surprising force. Okay, we're gonna die. The gunman's posture radiated a ferocious determination. His eyes, though, were like a dead man's, wide and hollow. It was unsettling, to say the least. It really is, though. Who the heck is this guy? Hitomi, Achi shouted. Get out of here now! But Hitomi was rooted in place with terror. Yeah, this is a bad ending. Like, look at that face. You don't see that expression on your gunman and then you say, yeah, I'm getting out of this. I'm not getting out of this. Run! Snapping out of it at last, she bolted for the door. She paused in the doorway to look back at him. Achi? What the hell are you waiting for? Achi snarled. Get out of here now! Finally, Hitomi slipped out of the building. At some point, the assassin had managed to snatch up a beer bottle in his free hand. Uh-oh. Oof. Achi tried to duck, but he was a hair too slow. The makeshift weapon caught him in the left ear. He staggered, his head spinning, barely able to tell which way was up. His vision dimmed, but he refused to yield. He headbutted the man in the nose as hard as he could. The assassin staggered backward. It is a double KO moment. Then all remaining strength left Achi's body. Double KO. Okay. We ain't fighting him. Beaten up by the man with a cane. Tried to fight a dangerous assassin unarmed. Just get out of there. Okay. I see what you're saying here. We're gonna run away. Finding an opening. Should start with his phone ringing. Oh, no. It started with the choice. Okay, we grabbed Hitomi and ran. Hitomi! Achi grabbed Hitomi and ran. He charged the man in the doorway, kicking at the cane he leaned on. The assassin lost his balance and stumbled to the left. Okay, perfect. Run! Still holding Hitomi's hand, Achi rushed out of the club. Okay. The two sprinted away through the side streets and alleys of Shibuya. Achi began to feel as if they were running some maddening maze. Before long, the two had almost made it as far as Aoyama. Wait up. Huh? Achi, wait up! Achi glanced back at Hitomi. Ah, my bad. Guess we've been running pretty hard. You tired? Hitomi shook her head. No, it's just, I have to get to Dogenzaka. Dogenzaka? What for? What could she possibly need to do there now? That's what I was told when I handed over the Itachi case. Oh? The man leaned in to whisper to Hitomi as he reached for the case. You're going to do exactly as I tell you. 2 things. He wore a cold, feigned smile, as if he was having some casual conversation. First, you're going to go to Dogenzaka and get in the blue van there. Hitomi nodded wordlessly. Second, you will not attempt to contact either the police or your family in the meantime. His chilling tone brooked into no argument. Just those 2 things and we'll let your sister go. Hitomi nodded again. The man flashed her a big, bright grin. Alright then, give me the money. So that's why they're going just in circles around Dogenzaka, maybe? A blue van in Dogenzaka, huh? Achi muttered. So that's why you said the police were a no-go. Yes, exactly. Hitomi's voice betrayed her desperation. I wonder if your sister's in that van then. If she is, then we gotta hurry. The issue lay in how to get to Dogenzaka. If they could probably avoid their pursuer if they kept to the streets only the locals usually knew about. That meant staying off the more well-trafficked routes like Roppongi-dori or the stretch between Masuzuka and the station. The side roads south of the station were their best bet. It was gonna be a long detour. The creepiest dude, honestly. Alright, come on. Turning, Achi headed back the way they came. After a moment's confusion, Hitomi followed. Achi? There was a note of worry in her voice. Hey, don't sweat it. I live in Dogenzaka. We're heading right back to my old neighborhood. Hitomi bowed her head. Thank you so much. Hey, it's no problem. I had to head home anyway. Achi gave her a grin. She cracked a tiny smile of her own. Hey, you two. You got a minute? Oh, it's you guys. The ones blocking Tama's story. A pair of men approached from the side across the street. There was something shady about them. Achi's protective instincts kicked in and he stepped in front of Hitomi. If these guys meant trouble, he wanted to be ready. We just want to ask you something. The younger of the 2 men drew in closer, a sharp gleam in his eye. Achi braced himself. Ask us what? You know where Nokane building is? The man held up a flyer. It was for some sort of health food sales demo. Come on, man, the Nokane building. You know where it is or not? Achi knew the name. Wasn't that one of the buildings on Center Guy? That was near Dogenzaka, the same direction he was going. No harm in helping a couple of lost dudes. I don't like the look of these 2 following Hitomi and me. Pointed them in the opposite direction from Center Guy. Okay. There we go. Pretty sure it's that way, he said. Thanks, man. Sorry to bug you. Oh, they were cool about it, though. The 2 men headed off towards the main road. It went off so easily. Like, oh, thanks, bro. Alright, see ya. Achi and Hitomi hurried onward, following the sparsely trafficked side streets towards Dogenzaka. I don't think I even knew this part of Shibuya was here, Hitomi said as she looked around. This looks nice, actually, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I used to mess around in this neighborhood when I was a kid. This area was a mishmash of run-down residents and office buildings. Almost nobody ever comes here unless they live or work on one of these streets. And check it out! A rare first-hand glimpse of the Shibuya River. It's a minor river that runs from the Miyamasu Bridge to the Tengen Bridge. Okay. Have you always lived in Shibuya, Achi? Yep, born and raised. Achi bent down to pick up a piece of trash from the roadside. That's why I do this. Just pisses me off to see folks make a mess of this place. Picked up another piece of trash. I don't have a job, so I just pick up garbage every day. Man, what am I even doing? Like, cleanup even matters right now. Hitomi took a long, hard look at his face. What? He demanded. What is it? You're a strange one, Achi. Is that so? She was right, of course. It was sort of strange collecting trash every day instead of getting a job. He had his reasons for it, but they weren't important right now. Right now, the important thing was getting Hitomi to Dogenzaka. Come on, he murmured. A sudden angry shout broke the silence as they hurried along. Hey, hold it right there! Achi and Hitomi stopped, but the shout wasn't directed at them. Further up the road, a group of thuggish-looking men were having some kind of argument. The man shouting would grab one of the others by the neck. Idiots, and you still got the gall to call yourselves SOS? Studs of Shibuya, youth gang operating out of Shibuya funded by Achi Endo. Its current leader is Susumu Nishizawa. I mean, yeah, Susumu, but the other men standing around look distinctly uncomfortable. It takes money to run an organization. No, I know, and since it's not like you're Achi or nothing, I thought you could maybe spare some help on that front, boss. The top dog, the man in charge, the head honcho, the leader of the SOS, Susumu. Okay. Change in leadership can shake up an organization. The new boss's personality and disposition are a huge factor in whether the group continues to prosper. The fact that Susumu is being asked to spare some help on the monetary front suggests that he still has things to learn about being in charge. Hitomi looked at Achi when the stranger spoke his name. He smiled awkwardly and turned back to the altercation. Shut your mouth, Susumu barked. How dare you say Achi's name in my presence? Hey, Achi called out. What was that about me? What did you say about me? As soon as they saw him, the other men went pale. Achi kept his tone casual as he strolled up to the group. Susumu, you can't just give a guy a beatdown in broad daylight. Mess up someone super bad. Don't want to shock the upstanding people of our fair city. Achi. Susumu glared. Can we drop the pleasantries? Achi replied with a hint of sneer. You got it, Susumu. And I'd like to point out we're not on a first-name basis. With that, Susumu turned and stalked away. His buddies followed suit, leaving Achi and Hitomi alone again. Did you know that guy? Hitomi asked. His name's Susumu Nishizawa. Yeah, I know him. Or I thought I did. Used to be friends way back. Me and those guys were all part of the same crew, but I bailed a little while ago. Achi fell silent. To his great relief, Hitomi didn't pry any further. Okay. So Achi's got like this gang of friends, but they're not friends anymore, okay. Achi and Hitomi had gone a short distance when they caught sight of a man picking up something alongside the train tracks. Huh, I wonder. Achi went over to him. Hey man, you picking up trash by any chance? Huh? The man let out a panicked shout. Taisei Yasuda, 35 years old, opened up a knick-knack shop in Shibuya. Achi knows Shibuya like his own backyard, but this Yasuda guy is new enough that Achi doesn't recognize him. Sorry, it just kinda looked like that's what you were doing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm picking up trash, of course. The guy seemed pretty unnerved. Like, I just got to thinking, man, this place is filthy. Oh my god! When you find someone who likes the same anime you do, when you find someone who likes something that's not mainstream that you can't find anyone else who likes it. Right on! Achi clasped the man's hand in his own. Someone else who gets it. They do? Totally. I see all this trash all over the place and I can't stand it. Oh yeah, sure. The man breathed a sigh of relief. Can't stand it when someone throws something away and it can still be useful. I hear that. That's the spirit. Achi pulled out the trash he stuffed in his pocket. Here you go. Huh? Go ahead. Have all of it. The man looked dumbfounded. Usually I go around picking up the trash here, but I got a little thing I gotta do today. You got it from here. I'm counting on you. What? Actually, I'm kind of... Great, thanks! The Achi beamed in approval and rejoined Hitomi and headed down the street. The man let out a sigh. Fine. Actually, I was doing something else, bro. Slipping through a narrow back alley, they came out near the top of Dogenzaka. Achi looked down the hill but didn't see a blue van anywhere. He and Hitomi started making their way down towards the station. Hitomi muttered to herself. I don't see it parked around here. Her face twisted up with worry. It was a lot harder to find street parking closer to the station. Hitomi, hold up. Achi had a sudden idea. He darted into a nearby soba restaurant, motioning for Hitomi to follow. Heya, he called out to the proprietress, looking sharp, a sharp-eyed middle-aged woman. You're looking as lovely as ever, I see. Oh, Achi, are you done collecting trash for today? The lady took a look at Hitomi, her eyes lighting up. Maki Yoneda. When she was 19, she happened to stop by this place and was captivated by the chilled curry soba. By day's end, she had decided to make the restaurant her new home, married the owner at the age of 22, and they managed the establishment together. Last year, her husband of 30 years passed away, and now she safeguards generations old secret of chilled curry soba on her own. Oh. Want some curry soba? Understandable. Is this your girlfriend? Huh? Oh no, it's nothing like that. Protagonist was undeterred. Oh, she looks just like a model. She's the spitting image of me at that age. My, Archie's gotten himself a girlfriend. No, like I said, it's not like that. The woman waved Hitomi over. Now, you know Archie's got a bit of a mouth on him, and he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's a sweet boy. Okay. Hitomi forced a polite smile to her face. He'll try to deny it, but don't you listen. He told you about Suzune? Huh? Ma'am, please. Archie jumped in on the conversation. You gotta hear me out. Whatever's the matter? I'm just trying to talk up your good points. Oh my god, she's trying to wingman you. Have you seen a van parked around here? A van? Let me think. Yes, come to think of it, there was. A blue one, she added confidently. Hitomi leaned forward. Where is it now? She asked. Well, I'm not really sure. I don't keep a close eye on things outside, after all. Hitomi slumped. I see. I know it doesn't look it, but I've been quite busy today. The man who makes my noodles came by earlier to settle accounts and we fought and fought over it. No head for finances, that one. That's his problem, honestly. And of course, on top of that, my part-timer Masa has to have today off, honestly. First-year student at Midoriyama Academy. Sweet young man who works part-time delivery driver for Dogen Hut. Sends all his leftover money to his mother out in the country. However, he's gotten himself a girlfriend and has been sending money back home less frequently. His noodle house job doesn't pay enough to support both his mom and cover his dating expenses, so he's scheming for a way to get rich quick. Archie frowned. Had she really seen a blue van, or was she just being chatty? Older women who ran tobacco shops or noodle houses seem to have a knack for spotting details, but most women of her age went, "Aw, let's go for this." I mean, she did come in with the color without us prompting it. Archie decided to follow up some more. Was there anything unusual about this van? Well, let me think. The woman frowned, pausing a moment in thought. Aha! A flash of recollection shone in her eye. That's right, now I remember. I think there was some foreigner sitting inside. Archie and Hitomi exchanged glances. Yes, I'm sure of it. The man who makes my noodles says he saw it too. Was there anything else? Hitomi asked. No, not that I can remember. Okay, so that was the van that Hitomi was kind of looking for. Hitomi hung her head in frustration as they left the soba shop. Archie did his best to try and cheer her up. Hey, we might still find that car. Let's try waiting around here for a while. Just waiting? What good will that do? It's possible they went to look for you when you didn't show, Archie said. Maybe they'll come back, you know? He sat down on the edge of a planter outside the restaurant. But the criminals already have the money, she said anxiously. Even Archie understood the implications. Now that the crooks had the ransom, their hostage was nothing but a liability. Why take the risk of letting her go when they already had what they wanted? The situation was bad. Very bad. Still, just running around Shibuya willy-nilly was only going to tire and frustrate them. Archie wanted to make sure Hitomi had a chance for a little break. We don't have anywhere else to look, so let's just give them 10 minutes, okay? He said. Hitomi seemed unconvinced. She looked like she might just march off down Dogenzaka at any moment. I understand how you must feel, but you know what they say. Slow and steady, stay in place. Hitomi burst out laughing. What's so funny? It's slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. For real? Hitomi smiled and sat down beside him. She at least looked so happy now. Alright, she said. We can wait here for 10 minutes. Good. Cool. We've run enough races already today, right? Hitomi kept her eyes on the cars passing through Dogenzaka for a while. Then she murmured softly to Archie. Thank you so much for everything, really. You can thank me after we find this van. I'm sure if I'd been by myself, I'd been in too much of a panic to do anything. What can I say? I try and keep my head up and face things as they come. You're quite the optimist, aren't you? Archie grinned. He tried to recall what optimist meant. He was pretty sure it had something to do with doctors or maybe glass. Oh no! The shy, sweet look on Hitomi's face as she said it, though, made him figure it probably wasn't a bad thing, whatever it was. Oh my god, bruh. Cars drifted on by, one after the other, but they saw no sign of a blue van. After a while, even Achi began to grow impatient. This was starting to feel like a waste of time. And then... they're gonna stop by now, aren't they? Achi being a himbo. Honestly, yeah. He told me, look, there it was. Keep out again? Okay. I'm stuck at 2 keep outs, man. There's a keep out at 11:20 and a keep out at 11:55. Achi is almost out of here. This is Tama. Tama should be free to go. Oops. There we go. Okay, so we ask Chiri again. And then let's zoom through until we see our boss. He should make it without any issue. The cat is really just so cute. Imagine plot twist of the century if this is already Hitomi's sister. If this is Maria. What the hell were we doing that chase for? Because I don't know, it feels like we're hiding Tama's real identity. She didn't say her real name and we can't get the cat costume off. So she's gotta be important somehow. We just don't know how yet. Okay, we're here at the protein. We're almost there. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, all you can eat as an example. Wait, if I can't remember if I do a jump from here. It saved though. It saved, it saved. Okay, there. Door flies open, suddenly a loud voice belts out. Hold it right there. I whirl around in a panic to see an odd-looking man standing at the doorway. It's Junichi Yanagishita, the guy who hired us. I heard that, Chiri. Don't you go calling my product junk. That's disrespectful. I love this guy's look. So true, though. He looks like he's funkin', like he's rockin'. I don't know what to call it. He's got the fro. And then I'm thinking, this music's making me think of like Yakuza 0 or something, the disco club. Chiri gave him a apologetic look. Whoops, sorry about that. You should be, but whatever. If you really have doubts, you have a try for yourself. Mr. Yanagishita pulls the bottle of burning hammer from his coat pocket. Sister products include Del Sweets, Cellulose, oh my god, that one. Better Sweater, Dom Pepperon, Power Burn Z, Mr. Thin, Nega Chow, Super Nega Chow. Damn. At first, it looks like some sort of energy supplement, but the cheapo label gives an immediate impression of sketchiness. Go on, says Mr. Yanagishita. Give it a go. Chiri reaches out to take it. But no sooner does she grab a bottle than Yanagishita shouts out once more. Wait, hold on. What? Chiri squawks. What gives? You too. You're both good stomach-wise? Stomach-wise? Yeah, drinking this stuff on an empty stomach can cause some pretty nasty problems. So make sure you eat or drink something beforehand. Doesn't matter what, really. Wait, nasty problems? Yeah, such as what? I ask. I'd rather not say. I guess that's why Kano fainted. Nobody would buy it otherwise. Seriously? It's all good. I just had lunch, Chiri says. She flashes a carefree smile. Well, I haven't eaten yet, but on the other hand, I've been guzzling as much iced tea as I can to fill myself up. It's probably safe for me to try this stuff. Wait, this stuff gives you vision or something. No, I don't want to drink it. I don't want to risk it. She didn't eat anything. It's not even particularly appetizing. Chiri twists off the cap. Bottoms up, she declares and proceeds to noisily gulp down her bottle. Doesn't seem like she minds it. Maybe it's actually pretty tasty after all? Huh? Aren't you gonna have some too? Mr. Yanagishita flashes me a look. Guess I might as well try a bit. I stick the bottle of burning hammer into my mascot head mouth. It has an unexpected smell, like curry. Huh. Getting my own lips around the mouth of the bottle, I gulped down the liquid inside. Okay, we drank it anyway. Poor Kano. So true. Huh? Doesn't taste like anything. A handful of seconds go by. Wait, what the heck? Oh no! Feels like a firecracker exploded inside my mouth. Now it's spicy. Way too spicy, like I swallowed a whole chili pepper coated in curry powder. Before I know it, I'm sweating bullets. Well, you sweating? Mr. Yanagashita asks. Like a whole lot. You are, aren't you? Why does he sound so happy about that? That right there is the magic of Burning Hammer at work. Cheery and I had a loss for words. Burning Hammer! Drink all you want and just burn those pounds. Oh my god, bruh. How's that sound? Good, huh? This is just so stupid spicy it makes you sweat, Cheery blurts out. Blunt to the point and I approve. Yeah? Well, I guess you're right, Yanagashita says. He hangs his head. No, Tama, what's in this stuff? I ask. I still feel my tongue tingling. Heck, my body is almost too numb to move. This goddamn Burning Hammer. I'm so shocked I even forget to get properly angry. It's this health food product that I imported from America a few years back, Yanagashita explains. But the import agency went out of business not long after and couldn't move the merch. So I bought up the whole lot. Everything they had in their storehouse, spent all the money I had on it. Cheery arches an eyebrow. How much did it cost you, she asks. 1 million yen for 300 bottles. I scarcely believe my ears. 300 bottles at 1 million yen for the lot. That's roughly 3,333 yen a piece. Each one of these teensy little bottles costs over 3,000 yen. You got ripped off, man, Cheery says. You really think so? Yeah, you're probably right. He hangs his head even more despondently. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in 100 yen shops or something. Ouch, Cheery, moving in for the kill. 100 yen shops? Really? Mr. Yanagashita lets out the heaviest of sighs. I'm starting to feel pretty bad for the guy, actually. Don't let it get you down, sir, I say, hoping to comfort him. Mr. Yanagashita just lets out a sob-choked sigh. There it is! Deep breath empathetically exhaled, a sign of disappointment, stress, or unrequited love. Anxiety brought on by massive debt. Once one has no more money to give. Only sighs. Right around now, Minori Minorikawa in the company is inclined to sigh this way. Yeah. I need to break out of that keep out. No, it's just... Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. It's the scratch cards that were in the 4-star general gossip. Oh, the ones that you said... Okay, that's where the problem is. What is the problem? If you shine the light on the cards from behind, you can see where the winning symbols are. Whoa. I messed things up dealing with the printing company. All of this. He gestures vaguely. It's my fault. My responsibility. He proceeded to explain the situation in detail. Word was quick to leak on the internet that there was a way to find the winning symbols. And suddenly thousands of cardholders turned up en masse to collect. Heaven Publishing was hit with a massive financial liability, and the employees rushed to flee a sinking ship. What did I walk in on? Right now, we're on one of the protagonists who's trying to check in on his, work friend, which is this guy, who's apparently having, financial issues now. I think he's deep in debt because he messed up on his job. Before Toyama realized it, he was the only one left at the company, and he was up against the deadline for next month's 4-star general gossip. If I have to drop next month's issue, I'll be stuck in debt even deeper, and if that happens, I'm finished. Toyama gave a dismal groan. So don't drop the issue, Minorikawa snapped. He pounded his fist right into the side of a cardboard box. Toyama just shook his head weakly. I've been up for 3 days straight trying to fill the pages. It's not enough. I can't do the impossible. He dropped his gaze to the floor. Countless scratch cards lay scattered about. They'd probably been amidst the pile that had fallen off the desk earlier. Each card showed a neat row of 5 win symbols. You can't know if it's impossible if you don't see it through. I'll never make it in time. The proof needs to be done by 8 o'clock this evening. Okay, that's the proofreading, okay. Don't gamble, kids. It's true, though. Well then, Minorikawa thought to himself. He let out a sigh and then held his hand out to Hana. Hana, would you mind handing me that hose? Gave her father a quick look and then handed the rubber hose to Minorikawa. This won't be necessary. He tossed the hose into the trash can, jabbed his finger at Toyama. Show me the layout and the draft proposal for next month's issue. Toyama blinked a few times in disbelief. Huh? You can't possibly be serious. I'm trying to help. Now show me the layout and proposal before I change my mind. After a brief, incredulous pause, Toyama hurried off to grab the paperwork. A layout, in publishing speak, is an outline of a magazine showing which articles will occupy which pages. Minorikawa gave a quick once-over, found out that 12 of the pages were still blank and untouched. He wanted to punch whatever writers had been assigned to those pages. See what I mean, Toyama said. It's hopeless. He sounded perversely proud of his failure. Getting enough material to fill pages by 8 o'clock? Yeah, it was definitely a tall order, alright. Says who, Minorikawa replied. Remember who you're talking to here. You seriously think you can do it? You're joking, right? Minorikawa shot back. I seriously know I can do it. There's nothing in this world that I hate more than a bad joke. Why are you doing this for me? Toyama was getting misty-eyed. I'm not doing it for you, you spineless wimp. I'm doing this for poor little Hana. Minorikawa, I'm so sorry. Toyama bowed his head so deeply, Minorikawa thought he might put his face through the floor. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to your daughter. Oh, forgive me. Please forgive me, Hana. Toyama clutched her tightly in his arms. The girl hugged him back, on the verge of tears. Hey now, enough of the waterworks. I've got your back, so don't worry about a thing. Minorikawa picked up the draft proposal for the pages that needed filling. The words Shibuya Scuttlebutt Special were plastered across the cover sheet in big bold type. Okay, so a 12-page special edition block on Shibuya. Fair enough. And the first on the docket. Drink yourself thin with burning hammer. This reeked of a scam. The only way drinking more of something would make you lose weight is if it were probably mixed with a laxative. Still, there wasn't enough time to tweak the layout plan now. According to the proposal write-up, a product demo was scheduled for 1 p.m. that day. The location printed on the map was blurry and hard to make out, but Minorikawa had a rough idea of where it was. Looked like he didn't have much of a choice but to swing by in hopes of getting more material. Oh, he'll attend that. Okay. He scanned further along the proposal. Society of Surveillance, hidden cameras installed throughout Shibuya. The rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. Where are they now? Washed up screenwriter showcase. Sexy squared. Twins share top prize at local university beauty contest. Shibuya now. Black market organ trafficking in Shibuya. Shadowy foreign crime syndicate exposed. Those were the 7 pieces to fill the 12 empty pages. Okay, I'm starting to see how this guy fits into the story. He's gonna be the press about, like, he's gonna be the one getting material, and he might even catch some stuff that we don't in the other, for the other protagonists maybe, and then he'll share and communicate with them maybe. So they make cards or newspapers, tabloids, yeah, tabloids. The Shibuya Now article didn't even have any proposed content. This sucked hardcore. Didn't look like there was much material for the rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad either. These notes suggested that a few years prior, a group of youngsters in Shibuya had banded together to help fight crime in their neighborhoods. At this point, however, things had flipped around completely and they'd become a gang of street punks themselves. Turned to the dark side. It had the makings for an interesting article to be sure, but tracking down this gang would take some time. Midorikawa was personally intrigued by the one about organ harvesting in Shibuya. The rumor of organs being smuggled out of Southeast Asia fenced locally at a tremendous price. There was even a plan to ascertain the authenticity of these claims. Fascinating. If Minorikawa was going to be spending all day gathering other material, though he didn't have much time to spare for it. Shibuya Now, the rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad, black market organ trafficking in Shibuya. Decided that one of these would have to go. He thought long and hard as he stared at the draft proposal. There was a good chance he'd really screw himself over if he picked the wrong one. Finally, he decided to cut Huh. We saw these guys in Achi's story. This might be related to the overall crime. We should cut Shibuya now. They said there wasn't even any planned content for it. Didn't have the time to make up an article out of whole cloth. His goal was just to make sure that 4-star general gossip made it to the press at all. Society of Surveillance, where are they now? Sexy squared. 3 pieces had individuals slated for interviews but no appointments made with any of them. Unscheduled interviews were a dicey prospect, decided to call them up on cell and made his way down the list. The only one he managed to get a hold of was Shinosuke Oarai from Where Are They Now Priest. He said he was willing to give a 15-minute interview after 2:30. He's a former broadcast writer. He appears in variety shows and commercial network Sun TV. He heads a small theater group known as the Wandering Angels, operating out of Shibuya. Later today, the troupe is putting on a performance at Theater Ace in Sakura Gao. That place. I gave up. Minorikawa sighed. He'd just have to get material from the others in a more impromptu fashion then. Putting his nose to the grindstone, he started throwing together a schedule for the day. Was it possible to get all that material and write it all up and still finish the whole thing by 8 o'clock? It was no use. No matter how he tweaked it, none of his simulations ended with him having proof ready on time. He just needed one more thing. That was another writer. Minorikawa zoomed through his contacts list, calling up all the freelancers he knew. The results were depressing. Answering machines, overseas on business, in the hospital, currently doing time. Wait, that last one? What? Why is the last one in prison? Before long, he'd called everyone he could think of except for one. Novice freelancer Chiaki Iso. Chiaki was a bit of an odd duck, a reporter who was scared of talking to people. Minorikawa never known anyone who had become so hopelessly flustered in a one-on-one setting. A rattled state unable to speak, Chiaki's tendency to become flustered is famous among her freelance writer colleagues. She conducted an hour-long interview during which she only managed to ask her interview subject's name in another chapter in the legend of hopelessly flustered Chiaki. Damn, rip. Have a nice lurk, Hunter Oni. Thank you for dropping by. If she couldn't talk to people, she certainly couldn't do interviews, and if she couldn't get any real interview content, she wouldn't be able to write much in the way of copy. Would she come to his aid if asked? Quite probably. The issue was whether she would hinder more than help. Honestly, in my opinion, the beggars can't be choosers. We can do the interviews ourselves and let Chiaki write, right? That should be fine. In fact, we might waste more time calling up even more people. The phone rang several times before a sleepy voice finally answered. Sound only, Chiaki Iso. Hello? Chiaki, hi, it's Minorikawa. Are you free today? Huh? What? She seemed thrown by the abrupt question. Did you just wake up? Huh? No, I mean, well, yeah. Good morning. Her voice still sounded half asleep. So then I'm guessing you don't have any work slated for today as usual. Pretty much. No work, no money, no food. Nothing to do except sleep. If I'm not awake, I can't dwell on how hungry I am. She didn't sound well. Almost like she literally didn't have anything to eat. Well, I've got work for you. I'm at 4-star general gossip. Get over here ASAP. What? You really mean it? That seemed to finally wake her up. Yeah, but hurry. Minorikawa decided he'd assign Chiaki to the rise and fall of Shibuya's vigilante squad. First of all, I want you to take a look around Shibuya for this group of vigilante types. By vigilantes, you mean people who have volunteered to help prevent crime? There was a note of relief in Chiaki's voice. Yes, that's right. Except apparently they've now turned into a nasty street gang. Did you just say street gang? Nuh-uh. No way. Absolutely not. Minorikawa could almost see her shaking her head on the other head of the line. What if I get killed or sold into slavery overseas or something? He doubted there was much chance of the latter or the former for that matter, but still he understood her concern. Alright, I hear you, he said. Then how about you just go hang around Shibuya Station and do some street interviews for me? Street interviews? There was a nervous waver in Chiaki's voice now. Yeah, just talk to normal, regular people walking around outside the train station. That should be fine, yeah? But Mr. Mino, street interviews aren't really my,
Apparently, it was beyond her capacity to give him a simple no. No buts. Just interview at least 10 people and get me an article by 6 o'clock. Okay. Minorikawa had originally planned to act Shibuya Now piece because it didn't have any content, but getting some quotes from people on the street would at least make for some useful filler. That gave him a sudden idea. He'd take on the vigilante story himself and have Chiaki handle Shibuya Now. That was plenty of work to keep two people occupied throughout the day. More time-consuming organ market story would have to be cut. After explaining what kind of interviews he was after, Minorikawa hung up. Okay, I've gotten us another writer. We'll get through, Toyama. Somehow. Toyama shrugged gloomily. Yeah, well, the thing is, there's actually one more problem. Are you kidding me? Minorikawa couldn't hide the irritation in his voice. What is it now? The loan company is sending a debt collector at 4 o'clock, but as you can imagine, I don't have a single yen to give them. That's less than ideal, yeah? So what's the plan? Well, they've said provisionally if next month's issue gets published, they'll be willing to wait on repayment. Then there's no problem. The issue's coming out, guaranteed. But they're not gonna take my word on that anymore, so I'm going to need to prove it. If we could fill, say, half of the 12 pages by the time they show up, I could probably convince them. Alright, Minorikawa said wearily. So for starters, we need 6 pages by 4 o'clock. They had to get all 12 pages done as it was. That made for the perfect midpoint to shoot for. Any other problems you'd like to let me know about? No, Toyama said. No, that's all. I really am sorry about this, Minorikawa. Again, he bowed his head low. Minorikawa felt distinctly awkward. He'd known Toyama for years and never been kowtowed to like this before. Yeah, well, just let me handle it, alright? Aw, at least they're helping each other. That's pretty wholesome. Minorikawa unfolded a map of Shibuya. First order of business was deciding where to begin getting content. He marked editing office with a circle and then considered where to head next. Diet drink sales demo. Center guy. Where are they now? Sakuragaoka. Theater ace. Society of Surveillance, Dogenzaka Endo Electronics. Sexy Squared, Midoriyama Academy. Notable alumni, famous actress Masami Nagahana. National High School Baseball Championship winning pitcher Tissue Prince. Wow. Educational philosophy is summed up in its slogan, Word, Skill, and Beauty. Very high percentage of the winners in the Midoriyama contest go on to careers in the entertainment industry. Shibuya Vigilante's location to be decided. The diet sales drink demo was at 1 o'clock. The interview with Shinosuke Oarai for Where Are They Now was for 2:30. Those times were set. The question was what to do in the interim. Oh shit, I'm not actually sure. How about we go here? It's a bit of a hike, but maybe he should go out to Dogenzaka and check out Endo Electronics. Yeah, that should give him what he needed to put together Society of Surveillance piece. Okay, I'm heading out. And don't even think about anything else stupid when I'm gone, got it? Minorikawa hustled out of the editing office, hoping Toyama would take his admonition to heart. Alright. Exiting the building, he hopped into the taxi that was waiting outside. Thanks for waiting. Can you get me to Dogenzaka ASAP? Son of a bitch. Minorikawa bristled. I beg your pardon? That son of a bitch you wanted to give a piece of your mind, sir. Was he waiting for you like you expected? Oh, yeah. And I damn well did give him a piece of my mind, too. Glad to hear it, sir. Taxi sped off. Thank goodness we had him waiting. Minorikawa pulled out the proposal and looked it over again. The idea for the surveillance story revolved around the claim that hidden cameras had been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts, upwards of 500 of them. Supposedly, these had eliminated lots of blind spots and the crime rate in the area had dropped significantly. The cameras were managed by Daisuke Endo, the owner of Endo Electronics and chairman of the local downtown committee. That was Minorikawa's first mission then. He needed to get this guy's story. Scanning the side of the road, Minorikawa finally spotted a rundown electronics shop. The sign out front, which looked like it might fall off at any moment, read Endo Electronics. Right here's fine. The taxi stopped and Minorikawa pulled a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet. "Keep the change," he said. "What?" "Look, don't sweat it. Name's Minoru Minorikawa and I'm a freelance writer. I care about two things, what's real and what's true. There's real worth to what you've done for me, and that's a token of my appreciation. It's not much, but please take it." Minorikawa slid out of the taxi and headed for the electronics store. That was nice of him. Inside, Endo Electronics looked more like a mountain of hoarded junk than actual business. Towering piles of ancient appliances stretched towards the ceiling. An old television sets within knobs leaned against computers with 5-inch floppy drives. What possible use could there be for all this outdated stuff? "Mr. Endo, are you in here?" Minorikawa called out. Nobody came to greet him. The shop was definitely open, though. Surely the proprietor hadn't left it unattended. "Hey, Mr. Endo, come on! I know you're in there!" After a short wait, Minorikawa heard sounds from the living space behind the shop. A door opened to reveal a tired-looking middle-aged man. "Yeah, what do you want?" "Are you Mr. Endo?" Minorikawa asked. "I am," the man said guardedly. "And I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of something at the moment. Could you come back tomorrow or... Please, just give me a minute. I'm a freelance writer. Name's Minorikawa." Minorikawa showed Endo his business card. "I'm writing an article for the 4-Star General Gossip." "Huh, a magazine piece, huh?" "Precisely. So if you could just give me a little of your time today." "Oh?" The phone rang, cutting him off before he could get down to business. "I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me for a moment." He reached into the clutter and pulled out a telephone. "Hello, Endo Electronics." The proprietor listened for a moment, then raised a brow. "Yeah, that's a problem, all right." "All right, understood. I'll try and get a hold of the customer then." He set the receiver back down. "What was that all about?" Minorikawa asked. "Oh, yesterday I sold a dry ice machine and the manufacturer called just to let me know the model is defective." "Defective?" "Apparently once it starts making dry ice, it won't stop. I need to tell the customer I have to recall the machine and refund their deposit. Give me a moment." He shifted through some sales slips, read a number off one, and made a phone call. Nobody picked up on the other end, however. "That's right," he grumbled to himself. "He said they have some performance today." "Performance?" Minorikawa asked. "Sold it to a guy from some theater group. They're called the Wandering Angels or something." "Oh, this is the guys we're gonna go interview later." "They're gonna be performing their 20-second piece Au Revoir. They're all already at the theater except Kiyomi Mondo, who's the rival of the main character. Angry production chief has sent his assistant to Mondo's apartment and does not know what awaits him there." Continued in the Tale of Wandering Angels, episode 2, 6 episodes all in all. Oh my god. The Wandering Angels. That was Shinosuke Oarai's theater troupe. Minorikawa had an interview with them for 2:30. "Anyhow, what can I do for you?" Minorikawa hastily explained what he was after, and Endo gave him a dubious look. "As I said earlier, I'm a bit busy right now." "Busy cleaning up, I hope." "How do you get anything done in this mess?" "Why, are you this rude to all your interview subjects?" 5 minutes! Just give me 5 minutes of your time, please." "You've got to be joking." "Go on, get the hell out of here." Endo headed back for his back room in a huff. "Fine then, I'll just have to write about what you've already told me. Namely that Endo Electronics sells defective merchandise." "Huh? What are you what are you implying?" "Did you or did you not just sell that theater troupe a defective piece of equipment?" "Look, I'm going to get in touch with them as soon as..." "I'm betting they're in a hurry preparing for the performance. I doubt you'll be getting through to them today." Minoru played too much Ace Attorney His finger-pointing game is strong, honestly. And his all caps, like, big text. For real. Endo bit his lip. "Now that I have your attention," Minorikawa said, "let's make a deal." "What kind of deal?" "I'm meeting with a member of the Wandering Angels a little later today. I can let them know about your dry ice machine for you. In exchange, all you have to do is give me my interview." Endo scowled. "And where's your proof that you'll be meeting with the Wandering Angels?" "I might take advantage of a guy when he's down," Minorikawa replied. "But one thing is, I'm not a liar." The shopkeeper took a few moments to think about it. "Fine," he grumbled. 5 minutes, that's all you get." Minorikawa whipped out his notepad out of his coat like he was drawing a gun. Then let's get right down to it, shall we? Go ahead. So I hear over 500 surveillance cameras have been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts. Yes, that's right. Why so many? We used to have a lot of delinquents in town. Okay. Endo said the word with marked distaste. Oh yeah, I remember there being some problem kids around. They were real punks. They vandalized the signs, made a mess of my storehouse. They were just awful. I see. Midorikawa scribbled diligently in his notepad. Heck, my own son put together a sort of vigilante squad to help teach those punks a lesson. Wait, vigilante squad? Oh, hold up there for a second. Minorikawa jutted out his hand to interrupt. This guy's son was part of the vigilante squad? What a stroke of luck! Maybe he could also provide info for the article on the gangs of Shibuya. Sorry, I don't mean to get too far off topic here, but can you tell me the name of this group your son belongs to? They call themselves SOS. Yes, originally a group of well-meaning young people, trying to keep Shibuya clean and safe. However, it has recently become one of the biggest gangs, resorting to defacing public property with graffiti, shoplifting, and shaking people down for cash. Prided themselves on being the top gang in Shibuya and all that. The top gang in Shibuya? Did I really just hit the jackpot here? Not to pat myself on the back, but go me. All I have to do is step outside and the story finds me. I think I might be a natural at this. As it happens, I'd also like to interview people from SOS. Would you be able to put me in touch with your son? Yeah, sure. But you should know that my son isn't in the gang anymore. Oh shit. It's a jump. We're both at 11:50. They're both about to finish. Okay. Let's get you out. Let's get you out, Achi. Let's get you unstuck. Afterwards, we'll just have to finish Minorikawa's scene with the interview. And then that's like 4 out of... No, wait. That would be Kano, Achi. That would be 3 out of 5 finished. Because then they'd be finished and then we could go back to both Osawa and Tama and then we'll just like see how they end. And try to balance it out. Because if they... I don't remember what Osawa's game end was, but Hitomi shouldn't be in the car yet at that time, so it should be fine. A blue van had appeared nearby, parked in a spot that had been empty previously. Achi couldn't see who was inside, but there was definitely something fishy about it. Besides, there weren't any other blue cars around, so this had to be it. He'd been right, the crooks had come back after all. I'm gonna go take a quick look, Achi said. You wait here. But before he could carry out his plan, Hitomi jumped to her feet. Without a word, she rushed towards the van. I said, hold on! I said wait! She wasn't slowing down. Achi got a hold of her arm. Wait, this could be dangerous. What if the kidnapper's in there? And what if my sister's in there? I have to go help her. Achi knew full well what it was like to be impulsive, but this was one situation where cooler heads would have to prevail. We can't just hang out here, she insisted. What if the car takes off again? That's why I said I was gonna go and take a look first. But isn't that dangerous? What if they do something to my sister because some random guy starts snooping around? Oh, huh. Yeah, you've got a point. Achi thought as fast as he could. The criminal told Hitomi to get into the van. There had to be some sort of specific reason for that. What if they were planning to abduct her as well? Whatever the case, he couldn't just let her go. He had to make a snap decision. How about we go together? Does that work for you? Please, we have no idea who we might run into. Hitomi gave a slight nod. Alright, she said, but let me go first and you follow, okay? Got it, Achi replied. Achi waited as Hitomi started walking and then followed her at a distance so it wouldn't look like they were together. Even though he was like, grabbing her arm earlier. She headed straight for the van. 2 men got out of the car, neither of them Japanese. Achi picked up his pace in case he needed to close the distance fast. One of the men approached Hitomi and said something to her. She gave it an affirming nod. Suddenly, the 2 men grabbed her from either side. They dragged her into the van and shoved her into the back seat. Achi broke into a sprint. Of course it was a trap. He couldn't guess what their whole plan was, but kidnapping Hitomi was obviously part of it. Before he could reach the vehicle, the door slid shut. The van sped off instantly a moment later. Achi raced after it. He ran as hard as he could, thinking of nothing else. He couldn't give up now. Couldn't let things end like this. He'd made a promise. No quitting halfway. And no turning his back on someone in trouble. But the car kept getting further and further away. Before long, it was just a blue speck that had vanished into the cityscape. No! Is this a bad ending or a to be continued? Achi never saw Hitomi again. That's a bad ending, I think. Okay, I'm supposed to go first then, I guess. Yeah. Lost sight of the van. And oh look, she got herself kidnapped. Oh my god, okay. I see where you're going here, game. I'll go in first. Okay, here we go. I'll go first. I don't want to put you in any risk. Hitomi's determination wavered at the look in Achi's eyes. Please, he continued. We have no idea who or what we might run into. If I think they're gonna try and run off again, I'll give some signal. Then you can come along. I doubt they'd be interested in leaving then. Hitomi gave a reluctant nod. Please, be careful. Will do. And tell me if my sister's in there. Will do. You can count on it. Achi stepped out into the open and started walking towards the van. He tried his best to look as if he wasn't paying any attention. Yeah, but I'm just an ordinary passersby. As he got nearer, he tried to sneak a glimpse inside. The dark window film made it hard to see who might be inside or even how many people. Casually, he moved closer still to get a better look. Suddenly, the sliding door burst open and several people jumped out. None of them were Japanese. Within moments, Achi was surrounded. Whoa, what? Hey, what's the deal? Achi said. He let out a little chuckle. Man, this thing must be packed. How many seats you got in that thing anyway? He took another step towards the vehicle and looked inside. Oh shit! Oh my god, every time! One of the men pulled a knife from inside his jacket, thrusting it in Achi's direction. He probably meant it as a simple threat, but on reflex, Achi went into self-defense mode, kicking him right in the jaw. There was a loud crack as his foot connected. The man dropped out like a light. The other stared and rushed him. Well, this sure hadn't gone as planned. Too late to take it back now. The damage had been done. Achi was just going to have to take out the rest of these punks too. He nimbly shifted his feet, evading their initial attack. Having to take these guys on 3-1 wasn't going to be pretty. Achi! He heard Hitomi cry out. Crap. He hadn't given any signal, but she would come out of hiding anyway. Hitomi, stay back! How was he supposed to fight off 3 guys and protect her at the same time? What could he do? What should he do? Within moments, a number of passersby had gathered around the fight. Maybe they'd heard Hitomi shouting. Hey, what's going on? Oh my god, is that a knife? This ain't some petty squabble. Someone call the police! Oh, excellent! The passersby are saving us! They brought out their phones and started taking photos and stuff. This is good. One of the men cursed in frustration, then signaled for his buddies to get back into the car. Achi couldn't stop them. The engine roared to life and the van sped away. Knowing that he'd never catch them on foot, Achi merely watched it go. He failed. This was his fault. All of it. Achi bit his lip hard. How could he possibly face Hitomi now? Achi. Hitomi's voice was hollow. Empty. Achi stared down at his feet like a scolded child. I'm sorry, I didn't see whether your sister was in there or not. I see. The words, so simple and matter-of-fact, stung him to the heart. I'm so sorry. But Hitomi simply shook her head. The fact that she wasn't even chewing him out made him feel all the worse. I know I messed up, but He was going to say, I'll make up for it, somehow. He froze with fear at what he saw next. This dude keeps following us, man! Across the street staring at them was the man with the cane. He told me it's him! They had to get out of here. Again. He grabbed Hitomi by the hand and bolted down Dogenzaka. The assassin followed, staying on his side of the road. Hachi wasn't sure what to do. Should they try heading into the alleys and side streets again? No, it was more dangerous to head someplace where there'd be fewer witnesses. Best stick to Doug and Zaka for now. The man wouldn't be able to gun them down if they managed to lose themselves in the crowd among Center Guy first. Besides, the guy had to use a cane. Achi and Hitomi could outrun him. Hand in hand, they sped along Doug and Zaka through the intersection in front of 109 building. Come on, Hitomi, just a little further. Okay. She was panting, but she pressed on. Achi risked a glance back over his shoulder. Huh? He stopped in surprise. What's wrong? Hitomi asked. That guy. He's not following us. The slope leading down to the intersection wasn't all that steep. Several plainclothes detectives have been hiding amidst the crowd in the intersection as part of a kidnapping stakeout. Kuze is sending a message to all the wireless, so the detectives have stopped to listen in. It's a bit unusual, but an observant individual might notice. It was strange that the gunman hadn't bothered to— Oh, it's because he noticed the detectives then. Still, there was no time to worry about his behavior right now. Hitomi, can you still run? Yes, I'm alright. Then this is our chance. This way. I love how we just passed by Kano and Kano never notices. They needed to put plenty of distance behind them before the assassin came after them again. But they also needed to find the van again and rescue Hitomi's sister. Would they be able to find it, yet stay hidden from the man with the cane? Achi wasn't sure one way or the other, but with Hitomi in tow, he hurried onward along Center Guy. And that should be his to be continued. Right? Yay! We made it! Another one! And the 11 o'clock time block is so long. Okay, let's try Minorikawa then. I jumped from Sun. If I just finish this interview, it should be over. Okay, he isn't in the gang anymore. Oh, he hesitated. Guess he's of no use to me then. Oh, believe me, I know how you feel. The look on Endo's face spoke volumes. There was no point in interviewing Endo's son if he wasn't in the gang anymore. It figured that Minorikawa's run of good luck would end eventually. Still, he got in a lead in the form of a name. SOS. That was still progress. Alright, so back to the matter at hand. He flipped his notepad back open. What did you do about all these juvenile delinquents? I set up a tiny little web camera in order to protect my property. CCTV stuff. I see. And I'm guessing the webcam did the trick? Sure did. And so then the other local businesses heard about it and started asking me to install some for them. Web cameras aren't particularly expensive, so it wasn't too tough to set them up all over downtown. So who's in charge of all these security cameras? Members of the Downtown Business Committee take turns. The cameras are connected via a wireless network that business owners can access throughout the area. LAN. Okay. How's your security for this wireless network? Oh, no problems on that front. Endo seems surprised at the question. All the footage sent over the network is fully encrypted. But still, people can't feel too good about being recorded on camera without their knowledge, don't you think? Minorikawa asked. The shopkeeper's expression darkened. We hope to strike a balance between crime prevention and protecting individual privacy. And who determines what that balance is? Minorikawa let a note of challenge slip in his voice. That would be me. I've been entrusted with the management of all the security cameras. I see. So essentially, you're providing your own moral or oversight. Are you implying that I'm abusing my authority? Endo shot back. I'm doing this in the name of public order. Right. You've had your 5 minutes. Now get out of here. The shopkeeper stood up and headed into the back. I'll be sure to let the wandering angels know about the dry ice machine, Minorikawa hollered at the closing door. Episode 2. When Akiyomi Mondo didn't show up at the theater meet-up on time, he went to call him at his apartment. He found out the place had been staked out by debt collectors. Mondo had borrowed 300,000 yen, and they wouldn't leave his home until he paid up. Looks like the only way to save Mondo was to give the debt collectors operating funds for the theater. But before Tezuka could head back to relay this news, the props master Shinichi Bando showed up. Continued in episode... Okay. Thank you for the high plus stretch again. Endo didn't reply. This should be art to be continued. Minorikawa had gotten enough of a story to put an article together, so he decided to hurry to a coffee shop and get started on some copy. He was making his way down along Doug and Zaka when his cell phone began to ring. The incoming call display showed Chiaki's name. Chiaki, what's going on? Oh, it's no use. She sounded like she was on the verge of tears. What's no use? I can't do this. I just can't talk to people passing by on the street. What? Why not? It's just that everyone seems so busy when they're walking past. If I try to interrupt them, they're going to be all mad at me. But who the hell cares if they're mad? Minorikawa is ready to start ripping his hair out. I don't want them to be mad at me, she whimpered again. Well, this wasn't about what she wanted, was it? She was supposed to be working, not whining. Look, Chiaki, if you need to get me those interviews, period. Do I make myself clear? He hung up before she could squeeze in an objection. Damn it, Minorikawa muttered. Just what I needed. One more thing to worry about. He pulled at his hair a few times and cast a worried gaze in the direction of Shibuya Station. I guess he's probably going to check on her in the next hour block. Yay! More to be continued. Alright, 3 of them are there already. Tama and Osawa are not quite there yet. Although Osawa seems to jump, huh? It's about the trials over here. This one is something else also. Man, I said I was gonna finish one every stream, but I don't think I can, unfortunately. Like, my voice is getting too tired. There's so much to read that my voice has gotten too tired and I don't want to push it too much. So we're gonna have to call it here and then finish this time block next time instead. Really sorry about that, but thank you everyone for tuning in to today's Shibuya Scramble. I'm still having a lot of fun with it, and I'm really interested in seeing where this goes. I'm starting to see the connection of all these protagonists and starting to theorize how they can flow into the story and how they'll all help in solving it. Even though Achi and Kano seem to be like the main players, I can already see Osawa being, well, it's obvious how Osawa is a big player too, because he's the father and he's probably the reason why the whole case started anyway. But I'm really curious on seeing how Tama fits in, because I have not seen how she fits in at all. Like, it's not computing. Unless it's got something to do with her identity under the mascot suit. That's what I'm wondering about. For Minorikawa, I can see him fitting in as like press, and he'll end up in the scene every now and again. Gonna have some grub, gonna lurk again. Have a nice lurk, but we're ending off anyway. Thank you everyone for joining, and bye bye. See you guys next time. Stick around if you want to raid. Thank you.